Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Don Thomas Stadium here in Exeter Township, Pennsylvania. This is Reading Raptors football on the Flagship Network. Today, the Reading Raptors are back home with a record of 2-3 on the season, and they take on the undefeated New Jersey Militia. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our broadcast. Max Gretzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley on hand this afternoon. It's a good one. Raptors need to get back in the win column. A lot to talk about, a lot to dissect from weeks past when we were here 2 weeks ago, and we'll dive into all that right now in the open. Joe, Alexander Gooden's been a monster all season long on the ground. He's going to have to continue to be aggressive throughout this game, obviously, if the Raptors want to continue to make a push towards the playoffs.
Yeah, big game from him last week in their loss. 6 carries, 114 yards, including this miraculous, sensational run, breaking tackle after tackle. He has been the highlight. He has been the tone setter for this team. Expect to see a heavy dose of him tonight.
We want to talk about the coaching staff and what needs to happen here this afternoon to get a victory, Bruce, and we'll rock and roll.
Yeah, I tell you what, Coach Mo, I mean, he's got this team positioned to make the playoffs. We just saw the playoff schedule there. The Reading Raptors are in the playoffs, and the game is underway.
Let's get it going here. Raptors in their home white jerseys with the blue trim. Militia, the road black jerseys with the gold trim. So, again, another week, another tough jersey combination there with the visiting opponents here, and as we try to get the numbers in order and try to have some fun this afternoon. Can't really ask for much better weather here, guys. So I'm very excited to see what happens here this afternoon.
Nice and warm, sunny. And you talk about the visiting Militia, very reminiscent of the Army Black Knights. They got the black uniforms, gold helmets, and they are on offense to start this game.
Cameron Beatty is a starting quarterback. He wears number 6, and he hands off to his tailback on the first play from scrimmage. And it's a short gain up across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, talking to the coaching staff of the Militia before the game, they're going to want to run the football. I think Reading, the important thing for them, they're going to have to stop the Militia running game if they expect to, impose any kind of will on this team.
Daniel Collette, number 7, one of multiple tailbacks that we will see in this football game, really on both sides of the ball, and that's a good point there, Bruce. Both teams going to obviously feel each other out here early on from an offensive, obviously a defensive standpoint as well. A couple of pump fakes and a near sideline pass is complete. And the whistle finally blows the play dead out across the 31-yard line.
Nice job by Beatty there. His primary target was covered, and finding the secondary receiver out in the flat for a gain leaves him 3rd and short.
Lance Fisher was the receiver who got the completion. So, again, going through the progression and finding an open man, that's the most important thing. Solid first couple of plays from scrimmage for the Militia.
A fumble.
The ball's loose. Oh. And I think the Militia jumped back on it, but obviously it was a quick trigger on the snap. And the possession will stay with the Militia. The ball's marked at the 35-yard line. The drive continues.
Tush push minus the push. just the quarterback there. I think that's a called play. I mean, where it's just the quarterback. He sees there's nobody over the center. He just comes up, takes the direct snap, and seeks it forward.
Yeah, 3rd down and 1 is converted, so now it's a fresh set of downs for New Jersey. Pistol formation. Beatty, play action, little dump into the flat, and he's got his tight end. So another solid completion there from Beatty. He looks pretty calm in the pockets to start this one.
Yeah, Chris Hertz with the reception. The Militia doing a really good job. Reading has got 9 guys in the box, and what they're doing is just taking what the defense is giving them, just some little short, high percentage passes for 5-6 yards on first down. They'll take that all day long.
We mentioned that the Militia are undefeated 4-0, so they obviously have confidence in their offense. And most teams, at least what we have seen so far from a Reading Raptors perspective, they like to get the ground game going early, but you mentioned it. Take what the defense gives you, and right now the offense, as far as the passing game goes, is humming.
Ooh.
We have a whistle. And it's going to be an offsides against the Raptors, I believe.
Yeah. Nori Falbe tried to jump the snap. It was a little too quick. You talk about the Militia undefeated 4-0. The NEAFL schedule makers have not done the Raptors any favors. The last 4 games, well, including tonight, their opponents are a combined 16-2. So after starting 2-0, the Raptors have faced the buzzsaw and looking to get in the win column again here this evening against the Militia.
Yeah, right now Raptors at 2-3 as far as their record goes. It's a handoff to Collette. He'll try the left side, and the pursuit of the defense is pretty solid there. It's going to be a pickup of about 2 on the play. It'll bring up a second down, and I'd say about 8.
Yeah, good defense there by the Raptors, kind of sealing the edge, making the runner go well outside. You know, and we were talking about schedule there a moment ago. This is the Militia's last road game. Their 3 final games are at home, and quite honestly, they're really looking forward to that.
Top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. Right now the Raptors hold the 4 spot on their side of things.
Yeah, Militia are half a game behind the Chester City Tide, who the Raptors lost to earlier this season in the American Conference. But like you said, top 4 teams in both conferences make the playoffs. Raptors holding on right now.
Second down and 8. It's a quick slant over the middle, and that pass is completed yet again. And that's Lance Fisher. It's his second reception of the game, and the ball now is into enemy territory, and it's going to be marked, I'd say, right about the 39-yard line of the Raptors. The Militia continue to move the ball at a high level.
Yeah, notice a quick slant there. I mean, they're just basically taking what the defense is giving them.
Pistol formation yet again. And Collette has a carry, finds a hole, and he's got a healthy gain, works his way up inside the 30-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a Militia first down.
You know, and the Raptors' defense is typically one that's going to play very well, you know, against the pass, putting pressure on the quarterback. This Militia offense really wants to run the football. You know, football always a game of matchups, and right now the Militia matchup seems to be going well.
Collette gets another carry, makes one man miss, but it's a gang tackle on that play for the Raptor defense. And it's going to be the first negative play of the game for the Militia offense. Move them back maybe a half a yard there. It's going to bring up a second down and long.
Tackle made by number 5, Yogi Wilkerson Jr. No gain, second down and 10.
Beatty's going to throw a deep pass to the end zone, and he overthrows his intended target on the play.
Boy, it just and that solid running game really made that play action effective. Beatty just a tad too long on that one.
Yeah, he was looking for Marset in the end zone and just out of the reach of the receiver.
Yeah, Ron Marset. I had to talk to Coach Anderson, you know, before the game, and he had a lot of good things to say about Ron Marset, number 5 there.
Well, he had a step on the D-back there, but it's going to bring up a third down and 10. Play action. Beatty rolls to his right, and he's got his receiver. It's Fisher again. That's his 3rd catch of the game, and we'll see if it's good enough for a Militia first down.
It sure looks like it. I don't know. I mean, they might have to measure,
It's
but
close.
First down.
well, looks like they've got the down marker turned to first down there.
That's going to be good enough for a first down, I believe. Indeed it is. So first down and 10 now from the 19-yard line for New Jersey.
Fisher is definitely Beatty's go-to guy. That's his 3rd reception. He's already got 31 yards on this first drive.
Kenneth Samuels, is now the tailback. He gets his first carry of the game. He's going to try the left side, and he's brought down pretty quickly. Good defense there by the Raptors. It's Thomas Perez, the first Reading member of the defense, in on the play.
Yeah, solid tackle there. Reading had that, the Raptors had that diagnosed very well, and no gain on the play. So second and long, that defensive line. Let's see if they don't send somebody at the quarterback here.
Samuels to the left of his quarterback. Beatty's going to throw a quick screen, and it's Fisher. He's got his 4th catch of the game already, and he's brought down pretty quickly. It's going to be a gain of about 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. Big play, maybe the biggest so far of the game, obviously, for the Raptors defense, as they are fighting to force a field goal at the least here on this possession.
Yeah, and the Militia have a pretty good field goal kicker. Talking to special team coach Bill Morrow Jr., he's the son of the team owner. Prior to the game, they've got a pretty good field goal kicker. That may factor into, the play call here on, 3rd and long near the end zone.
Beatty takes the snap, scrambles out to his left, still scrambling, turns around, he's dancing, and he will dump off to his running back. It's Samuels, and Samuels actually turns that into a positive gain.
Incredible play by Cam Beatty, the quarterback there, keeping his presence of mind, keeping his head, looking downfield to find that open receiver. Now it is 4th down, and so let's see if they're going to kick. Sure looks like it.
It'll be 4th down and about 2, and it looks like the offense is going to jog off the football field. So credit Beatty on a solid opening drive, but also credit the Raptors defense, who show you the typical bend but don't break side of things, and it'll force a field goal attempt.
No, it looks like a real big full house backfield. I mean, they got the beef in there, not going for a field goal. I mean, they got...
New Jersey calls a timeout there, Bruce, so we'll send it to break, our first breather of the game. And we'll step aside with 6:59 to play in the first quarter. And before we do so, let's touch on the flashes of greatness, obviously, from what we've seen so far this season. And there's been pros and cons on both sides of the football, but the record at the end of the day is the most important thing, and that's what we see so far, a record of 2-3 for the Raptors on the season.
Yeah, Alex Gooden has most of those flashes of greatness, but we saw some from Isaiah Shockley. And a couple weeks ago on our broadcast here, number 10, Junior Default, had that big touchdown. And, Bruce, you said it entering this game, we wanted to see more of that from the Raptors, and it starts with quarterback play and connecting with someone like Junior Default.
Well, instead of a break there, Bruce, you get a Junior Default highlight instead. How about that?
How about that? But it really comes down to getting the ball into your best player's hands. However you can do it. Throw it, run it.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Set.
And shoving their way. It's not, that offensive line there really moved the pile on that play. Shout out to the trenches.
So
got to uncover a lot of those bodies.
That was backup quarterback Dimitri Davis, number 9.
Well, that's going to be good enough for a Militia 1st down. So it'll be 1st down and goal.
Wow.
From the 5-yard line of the Raptors. So I spoke too soon there, Bruce. It was obviously a good stop, but on 4th down, Militia decides to go for it. They're rewarded.
And the heavy package again.
Got the heavy package yet again. Same exact play, and brought down around the 2-yard line that time. So how about that? No direct snap to a tailback. It's the backup quarterback out there trying to move the pile.
And quickly trying to get the play off. And, yeah, offside there. Reading wasn't ready.
Blown.
So we have a timeout by Reading.
Oh, timeout. Okay.
They should call another timeout. That's their 2nd timeout
on defense.
3 plays. So we'll send it to a break. 6:01 to play in the first quarter. We'll step aside.
Full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Back here out of a timeout at Don Thomas Stadium. Max Gretzula, Bruce Badley, Joe Mays on the call. It's our 2nd broadcast here this season for the Reading Raptors on their home field. And after a 4th down and 2, Bruce, Militia were able to convert, and it's going to bring up a second down and goal from the 2-yard line. We'll see the jumbo package yet again.
I think jumbo is an understatement for the size of those guys out there.
Davis gets the snap, charges forward, and worked his way into the end zone. It's a Militia touchdown. They strike first.
Well, that was a great drive. What I liked about it was the balance. Joe talked about the fact that they were effective throwing the football, and then coupled with, solid running game, and then that heavy package of the end zone. Impressive.
That's a complete drive there, Joe.
100%. It shows what the Militia are able to do. They're so well balanced. Beatty is a significant upgrade at quarterback for anything we've seen throughout the season so far. He had 7 attempts that drive. They were pounding with Kellett, and then they come back with Davis in almost like a wildcat package as the backup quarterback. They pound for 3 plays, and he gets in for the score. Militia take the lead.
Wallace is on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Militia take a 7-0 lead. Raptors will be on the football field on offense for the first time right after this. Have to give a quick shout out here to our sponsors today. Joe, take away.
Today's game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, Vicky's Kitchen, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing.
Tell you what, there, Davis looks like a handful to say the least, Bruce.
Well, Davis is a handful. I think that entire Militia offense is going to be a handful. I thought that was such almost a precision drive with the offensive play calls. They almost seem to have the right play called for the right situation. Now, I don't know whether they've given Beatty, the latitude to be able to make changes at the line, but it's almost like they had the correct play called for the defense that Reading was throwing up against them on that play.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Wallace will kick off, and the Raptors will get possession of the football for the first time here this afternoon. Not a great kick. And the Raptors have a really healthy return as they work the football into enemy territory, and it's Blanco, who, I tell you what, if you spoke to Blanco before the play, I doubt he would have thought he would have gotten a return there, but he did, and he made the most of it.
And Reading set up with good field position to start the drive. Talking with Coach Ian Cooper before the game, it was very interesting. They're really doing almost starting again with this offense, making sure that each player has explicit instructions on what to do on that play right on their wristband.
First play from scrimmage goes to Gooden, and for obvious reasons. He's been the most explosive player so far this season for the Raptors. And he has a pickup of about 4 or maybe 5 on the play. It'll bring up a second down and medium.
Yeah, good hole-off tackle there for Reading on the first play. Anytime you come in and, 5 yards on first down, hey, that's good.
Tanner White's the quarterback to open this first offensive possession for the Raptors. Gooden remains the tailback to the left of White.
Trips down to our left
Bunch
here.
formation there at the bottom of your screen. And the pass is complete to the bottom. It's Junior Default, who had the touchdown 2 weeks ago here at Don Thomas Stadium. And he's finally in the scoring book here. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short, make it a 3rd down and 2 to be exact.
Yeah, I like that play call. High percentage, kind of bubble screen with the trips out there, 2 of them blocking on the snap. And then Default, it's his job to make the defenders miss.
They're going to give him a 1st down on that play. Both the referees came together and signaled forward. So I'll tell you what, solid first play from White and company. 1st down and 10. The Raptors already somewhat threatening here offensively. Gooden gets the carry, tries the right side. He's got a lot of space to work with, cuts upfield, and he works his way inside the 30-yard line, tripped up there.
We talked about it pregame. He has been the highlight. If they're going to get going, Gooden's going to be the guy to do it. I'm sure, celebrating this week after his engagement. So.
Oh, yeah, right. And I think, just those kind of things, those kind of weigh on people a little bit, maybe getting that decision and everything behind him. Not that it's going to, help him any more than what he was doing before, but, kind of going out there with an open mind and free of complications, at least
definitely.
now anyway. We'll wait and see after he gets married. But
Different mentality. I'll say that. Gooden gets the carry, works his way up the gut. That's good enough for a first down and more. And Gooden is officially brought down at the Militia 21-yard line.
And the way that Reading is going about it now with, Gooden being the focus, look for some play calls with the fake to Gooden and maybe, a quick out to default, on kind of another bubble screen.
Yeah, I formation. They went to Gooden at fullback that time, but don't overlook Shockley, number 32 at running back. He can make guys miss.
You can't miss him with those
too.
red cleats on, can you, Joe?
No, you can't. You can see him. Watch him. Pay attention.
Play action. White will scramble to the left. He'll fire. And it's intercepted. It's picked off, and White, after making some impressive plays offensively, turns the football over in the danger zone. And the Militia will go back to work on offense, unfortunately.
Yeah, untimely interception. There's never a timely interception.
Albanese picked that one off.
Yeah,
that
was
the first turnover.
Tough play. Rolling him out to his left to give him some time, and he threw it right to the defender.
Maybe a little bit of a force. But what are you going to do in that situation there, Bruce? I guess you probably should have just ate it, throw it away, yeah.
So now time for the defense to step it up here.
I think that's a perfect thing where we look at in our open about the flashes of greatness. They showed some flashes of greatness on that drive and then ultimately turned the football over. And that's just the kind of season it has been so far for this Raptors team. Good defense there from the Raptors and the offense, or the defensive line, excuse me.
Yeah, Matthew Default in there really blew that play up. So 2nd and long. Interested to see the play call here now.
Beatty's back to pass. Maneuvers past one defender. Throws deep to the far sideline. That's caught.
And that's just a great job by Beatty. He was looking right, and his eyes had that defender almost to the hash mark.
Wallace has his first reception of the game on that note.
And just drilled it down, a deep out. And, boy, that's a tough throw, but an even better job maneuvering that defensive backfield through his eyes there by Beatty.
Beatty takes the snap, hands off, massive running room, and the Militia worked their way into Raptors territory.
Daquan Brown there talked to Coach Anderson before the game, and he's a load, and he's going to be somebody that the Militia are going to depend on today too.
First and 10 now for the Militia. Ball's marked at the 48-yard line of the Raptors.
And the Reading defense here just on their heels. The play calls just been out, and execution been outstanding for the Militia early on.
Here
and you can
comes
see a blitz.
Beatty gets rid of the ball quickly, and it's intercepted. I believe that's Truesdale on the pick, and it is.
Well, that's what I talked about. The strength of that Reading defense is getting after the passer when it goes back to pass, and that pressure on Beatty caused him to throw the interception.
So the Raptors answered back with an interception of their own, and they will take the football over. Joe, you mentioned in the opening the bread and butter has been the defensive side of the football so far this season, and they give their offense an opportunity to get back onto the field and take advantage.
Yeah, they bent a little on that first drive. Crumble gave up the touchdown, step up in a big way after their offense turned the ball over. Truesdale gets the pick. I believe he's the guy 2 weeks ago that thought he had the interception right near the end of the game. This time he comes down with it. It looked like he was almost ready to pitch it for a bigger play. But 21 with the pick. Tanner White back at quarterback for the Raptors.
Shockley, the tailback. Another quick pass. And not much going on that play. But again, Bruce, you mentioned it. Get the ball out quickly. Try to avoid danger. That's exactly what the Raptors do on that play.
Well, they have to make the defense defend the whole field. That's the only way that Reading's going to be able to consistently run the football. And, you know, those quick, high percentage passes, you know, between Tanner and Charlie, they've been doing well on those. It's when they have some time to think sometimes they have issues getting it to the right jersey.
That's only a gain of 1, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter as time expires here at Don Thomas Stadium. Second quarter action will come your way next. We're going to actually have some information for you guys down, I believe, on the sideline. So trying to give you a lot of opportunity here. We'll keep it here.
Multimedia, baby.
And at the end of the first quarter, we've seen a lot of pros and a lot of cons on both sides of the football. But an exclamation point to end the first quarter. And we send it down now to Sophie on the sidelines.
Raptors interception with 42 seconds left in the first. Down at the field, the energy completely shifted. Raptors morale went way up and were able to get the ball back to make one more play before the quarter ended.
Thank you, Sophie. Second quarter action is just about to get underway. And as we look forward to the second quarter here, Bruce, what's your main, look aheads as we talk about how this offense can continue to get going? We haven't really seen anything thrown down the field so far by White. It seems as though Gooden has been moving the ball great on the ground. And I'm assuming, at least in my opinion, that's what we expect moving forward here in the second.
Tanner's got to have short-term memory loss. He's got to forget what happened and get out there and the task at hand. Because to me, it looks like the Raptors want him to be the quarterback.
You're speaking like a true coach there, Bruce. And Gooden on that note works the football across midfield and into Militia territory.
Get back to your roots. Keep feeding Gooden.
Yep.
Things happen.
Yeah, I know. Look. Sometimes coaches get a little bit ahead of themselves.
Ball's marked at the 47-yard line of New Jersey. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 1. Both Shockley and Gooden are in the backfield. White will go under center. And we'll see if the offensive line can hold here on this play. Gooden gets the carry, turns the corner. He's upended, but not before he has the first down.
Boy, he did a nice job bouncing that one out to the outside. The hole was completely clogged up, but he bounced off a tackler, got to a little bit of daylight, and got that first down. And that's really all the Raptors need to do here.
The chains will move forward, and it'll be a 1st down and 10.
Gooden's already up to 5 carries for 30 yards. Last week he had 6 in the entire game.
Wow.
Well, that's just not going to get it done. Ball's marked at the 34-yard line, or 44, excuse me. Shockley now in the backfield. We have a flag on the play, and it's going to be a negative play on that note, but we'll have to check the penalty marker.
Yeah, I think they didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Roberson finally gets into the stat sheet today. That's his first catch.
Interesting play call there.
It was, indeed.
And that was kind of some of the things that I was talking to Coach Cooper about, you know. I mean, and it's tough. Remember, these guys just have one practice session per week. And
kind of surprised they don't have more penalty markers at that point, right?
And I would totally agree with you that considering the fact that, you know, they only have that one practice and they're trying to jam so much in there. There's only so much, you know, that you can either install or in this particular case, it sounded like they were going to revert back. I think Reading has kind of taken a step forward with their play calling with new alignments with these trips up top and down below.
So we didn't get a signal from the referee, but it is
It was encroachment.
It was a 5-yard penalty. It was encroachment. Okay, yeah. So a 5-yard penalty on the Militia. That's why we saw the ball move from the 44-yard line to the 39-yard line. And a negative play for the Raptors following that.
That was Shockley's first carry of the game. Unfortunately, it went for a 2-yard loss.
I got to believe this is 2 down I think it's 3rd down. They didn't change the down marker.
Shockley, the tailback, Gooden in at fullback. And White will take the snap, throw deep to default into no man's land, and it's intercepted yet again. And charging down the far sideline and finally knocked out of bounds that time. And I tell you what, the Militia are starting to play some football. And right place, right time for Lance Fisher.
Yeah, that a little bit of a tough pass there for White. And the Militia now taking over in Reading territory.
Looks like
So
Tanner
3
White,
total turnovers on the game.
Looks like Tanner White might have taken a hit there during that play.
Yeah. Yeah, he's down on the sidelines, kind of stretching something out.
Yep, trainers are going to take a look at Tanner. Hopefully he's okay.
Looks like it's his left shoulder or left side somewhere.
Ball's
and
on
a
the
fumble.
Turf. Beatty able to recover. Ball could have bounced anywhere. Militia, fortunately for them, able to fall back on it. And they'll lose about 5 yards on the play. And the ball now will be marked in midfield. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 15. Just a poor decision there from White. Man-to-man coverage with Default on the outside. Looked like Default actually had a step on that interception, but just not an accurate pass, obviously. And we'll see if the Raptors' defense can hold here. Positive play on 1st down for them.
Let's see if they just don't send the kitchen sink on this one.
Ball on the grass yet again. And Beatty able to pick it up for the 2nd time in as many plays. It goes incomplete.
Now look, that's got to be intentional grounding.
It should be.
There was no way. He just picked it up and threw it into the ground. He was within the tackle box. I got to believe that was intentional grounding.
Well, the refs are in a huddle currently at around midfield.
Yeah, there it is. So
that's huge because they're losing yardage and the loss
of down. So
this is
going
to be 3rd and a mile.
Well, the Reading defense,
3rd and a mile to say the least, right?
Well, the Reading defense doing what they needed to do to get the Raptors back in this game is just kind of take this game by, the bootstraps and, impose their will on the Militia.
And Tanner White is on the bench trying to get things stretched out, but we do see Charlie Maddox is warming up on the sideline. We'll keep an eye on the Raptors quarterback situation.
Well, first things first, trying to get off the field here on 3rd down and forever. It's going to be 3rd and 30 to be exact.
Wow. I still think you put pressure on the quarterback here.
Beatty with an empty backfield takes the snap, back to pass, he'll fire, and it's caught.
Oh, no!
Unbelievable catch. It's not going to be enough for a 1st down, but it'll be a pickup of about, I'd say 23 yards on the play overall as we have an injured Militia member on the turf.
The defender went for the interception. Somehow the ball got over his outreached arms, And the Raptors did bring pressure. That's what caused really almost an errant pass.
We'll step aside. We will take a break. Before we do so, we will send it down to Adam on the sidelines. He's got a report for us. We'll get to Adam momentarily. He's having some technical difficulties down there on the sideline, but luckily the Militia.
Well, he's got all that hair, and I think it's blowing in its face.
Yes, I know.
So
the injured Militia member able to jog off the field.
It was Lance Fisher, their leading receiver. He already has 6 catches for 86 yards. That would be a big loss for the Militia if he's unable to get back
Well, that
into
would be
the
a
game.
really good fantasy football start there if you played him.
Double wides. Big fourth down,
Beatty
penalty.
able to get the defensive line to jump. He'll go deep knowing it's a free play, and it's incomplete. Looking for Enfinger down there on the near sideline.
Boy, that's going to be really close. That 5-yard penalty really opens up the playbook for the Militia now. It's going to be 4th and short. I got to believe, yeah, they're going to maybe bring in that heavy package again. I don't know.
$10:23 to play in the second quarter. 7-0 your score. Militia lead. And Beatty will take the snap. Pitch to his tailback. Ball's on the turf yet again. And the Raptors make him pay.
Well, an odd set of circumstances gave the Militia a first down. It was like 4th and 6, and they ended up giving them the first down on the penalty. But again, another fumble by the Militia drives them back on that play, and a great job of penetration by the Raptors defense.
That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 16 to be exact. The Militia continue to shoot themselves in the foot offensively after giving opportunity after opportunity so far early stages of the second quarter.
So trips down to the near side.
Beatty will scramble that way, but he's forced back up in the pocket. He'll fire deep down the middle of the field, and it goes incomplete. Truesdale in coverage. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
He was fortunate. He kind of got his feet tangled up there, and the ball went to the wrong shoulder of the receiver. So 3rd and long once again for the Militia.
Yeah, he was looking for Cheeseborough. That was his first target of the game. And that'll be a 3rd down and 16 now.
Boy, credit this Raptors defense. Every time they've been asked to really, make a stand, they have here in this game.
And we've only played a quarter and a little. Beatty, back to pass. We'll dump it off to his tailback. And it's going to be a healthy pickup of about 6, maybe 7 on the play. But obviously not enough for a first down.
I got to believe they're going for it again on 4th down.
So that'll be now a 4th down and about 9.
Yeah, I think
Haynes was able to catch it out of the backfield and make the most of it.
some of the distortion here is the down marker hasn't necessarily been on the ball.
Long huddle here for the Militia offense. They finally break.
Empty backfield.
Beatty is alone. He takes the snap on 4th down and 9, steps up, throws one deep over the middle of the field, and it'll go incomplete. And the Militia will turn the football over. Adam, we got something down there for you on the sidelines. We're still getting some technical difficulties down there without him. Hey, I'll tell you what, Bruce, there's been times where I've been down on the sideline, you know this, and I'm there talking to nobody because no one can hear anything that I'm saying. So I feel like we've all been there before.
We have all been there before. Adam's doing a great job. Does a lot of local sports here in Reading with radio and baseball this spring. So
getting into it at an early age.
Absolutely. Up-and-comer here, Adam Cook here, doing a great job for us.
Charlie Maddox, by the way, Bruce, now in at quarterback. So keep an eye on Tanner White on the sidelines. We'll see if he's able to come back at any point in this game. Maddox will take the snap, hand off to Shockley. He'll try the near sideline, and he gallops his way out of bounds for about a 2-yard pickup. And he looks like he hurt himself there.
Yeah,
He's
did.
Grabbing at that right hamstring.
Yeah, he came up lame halfway through that run. He was just trying to get to the sideline, and that is not good news.
Oh, he's up, and he will limp to the bench. He's still grabbing at that right hamstring. So obviously, without knowing any reports on the sideline, you got to expect possible hamstring pull or strain. And he will go take a seat next to Tanner White on the bench. So 2 of the leading offensive weapons for this Raptors team banged up at the moment. Maddox on 2nd down will have an empty backfield. 2nd and 7. Maddox takes the snap, back to pass, has a pretty clean pocket. He'll scramble out to the right, slings one, and it goes incomplete. He was looking for Roberson, and that'll bring up a 3rd down now for this Raptors offense trying to kickstart here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, but a good play there for Maddox. He's good on the run, running to his right side there. That kind of basically clears up his vision, looking downfield, and just kind of missed the mark on that one.
Neither team really to find a groove. We saw Militia open things up with a great 75-yard drive, thinking, it could be a long day for the Raptors, and now the teams are settled in and are still searching for an offensive identity. Defensive have stepped up in a big way.
Blitz, look out.
In the backfield. Maddox will throw one. And
that's going to be 15 coming on Maddox.
Moody was in pursuit of Maddox on the near sideline, and he hit him late. And it's a personal foul. It's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Raptors. And they catch a break.
Now, I tell you, what was really interesting is Shockley was on the bench, hurt, and he went after the Militia player down the field who ran out of bounds.
So late hit on the Militia as Charlie Maddox was going out of bounds. Raptors, hey, sometimes it's good to be lucky. And that was a mental mistake by the Militia. Gives Raptors new life here halfway through the 2nd quarter. See if they can take advantage of a new opportunity.
Ball's marked at the 49-yard line of Militia. Gooden will be asked to carry even more of the load now, with Shockley still stretching out that right hamstring on the sideline. Maddox will pitch it to Gooden, makes one man miss, and he cuts his way upfield for a healthy gain. It's going to be a pickup of about 5, and we will send it down to Adam on the sideline.
I have a little bit of an update regarding the status of quarterback number 9 for the Raptors. He is doing all right. They are not concerned. No fractures for him. He will be back in the game shortly.
Well, you see Tanner White there really looking off into space.
Looking despondent.
We'll see. He doesn't look too happy, and I honestly wouldn't be either. Not only for the injury right now, but the way the Raptors offense has been playing up until this drive at least.
Considering everything that's gone on in this game, the Raptors having an opportunity to tie it at this point, I think is outstanding.
Gooden, a mountain of a man, works his way forward for about 2. It's going to be a 3rd down at about 3.
And when you talk to Alexander Gooden, I mean, he just exudes what a running back really is. I mean, he said, just bring it on. I mean, that's the guy's persona, And you can see it out there on the football field, man. He just loves contact.
Well, this is the second third down on this drive for the Raptors. First one was third down and 16. They got bailed out by a personal foul penalty by Moody. This one obviously way more manageable, third down and 3.
Oh.
And
there we go.
Just like that, another penalty on the Militia. It'll move the ball forward. And on 2 penalties,
Offside.
the Raptors get 2 first downs on this drive alone.
You know, the one thing, and we've done enough for these Raptors games now to know, this team is so emotionally driven. Highs, lows, or what have you. And right now, they're on an emotional high. And emotion drives performance in football. So let's see if they can't, put something together on this drive and tie the score.
Charlie Maddox needs to be the field general here. When you have the emotion on your side, maybe a little bit of momentum, you just don't want to make the mistake. So don't force anything. He can use his legs. He's a great runner.
First and 10 from the 36. Default gets a screen and works his way forward inside the 30 and brought down around the 25-yard line.
Awesome. I mean, great job, great call there by Coach Cooper, getting the ball into your best player's hands. However you've got to do that, handing it off, throwing it, razzle-dazzle, whatever.
Default has his second reception of the game.
No, good enough for a first down. Raptors just keep moving.
Maddox in the shotgun. We have a penalty marker down pre-snap.
I think that the officials jumped the gun there.
False start.
False start offense.
It's going to be a false start on the Raptors. It'll back them up 5 yards.
I mean, the right guard raised up and looked at the quarterback, and I guess because the tackle was in a 3-point stance, when he did the same, I guess that precipitated the penalty flag, but
Maddox has the play from the sidelines as he jogs back out to the huddle. 4:13 and counting here in the second quarter. Much quicker first half of football action than what we experienced 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
I don't know if it was because of the time itself or the weather.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Got this trips package down on the near side again.
Maddox rolls that way. He'll pitch it to Gooden. And Gooden
Oh,
will
he's
have
got
to
a
work
lot
his
of
way back
room.
the other way. Has some blockers out in front. Charging inside the 10 and spinning his way inside of the 5.
Well, you could see it was set up to be a pitch to the right. When he reversed his field, everybody over pursued from the Militia. There was nobody on that side of the field for the Militia. Great job by Gooden.
So it's going to be a first down and goal from the 5-yard line. Maddox has led the offense well on this drive. Not really asked to do a whole lot from a passing perspective, but he's been able to complete the ones he's needed. And we highlight the default catch on the far sideline a few plays ago. Timeout on the field. 3:05 to play until halftime. It's 7-0 Militia. Only the second quarter here, Bruce, but it almost feels like the Raptors need to punch this one in here to stay in the ball game.
Well, for nothing more, we talked a little bit earlier on the drive about how emotionally driven this Raptors team is. They really ebb and flow and feed off of the emotion of the moment. So punching this drive in, they're really feeding off of their defense that's really kept them in this ball game.
Pyers, top of the screen, man-to-man coverage, Gooden in the backfield. Maddox still in at quarterback. He takes the snap, back to throw. Had Pyers momentarily, but now he'll have to scramble and make something out of nothing, and he'll just have to throw it out of the back of the end zone.
And that's a smart play by Charlie Maddox. There wasn't anything available. There's nothing wrong with second down.
No, not at all. I'll tell you that. Just don't turn the football over in the red zone.
Right.
And, again, you're right, Bruce. A second down and goal now. Maddox over to the sideline for a quick second. Now back to the huddle. Looks like he's looking at that wristband, so it might be up to him here as far as the play call goes on second down.
I'd love an RPO here with Gooden. I mean, they've got double wides. They're spreading them out. Yeah, I really like an RPO situation
Pyers
here.
now bottom of the screen in the slot. Maddox hands to Gooden. Makes two men miss. Still on his feet. And he's brought down and probably lost about 1 yard there. Offensive line obviously not holding up their end of the bargain so far on the last two plays.
So 3rd and goal here. That play that they're bringing the wide receiver in to the quarterback and then handing off. And actually what's happening, if you watch the defense, they're actually bringing defenders to the ball. So in that particular case, Gooden had a good job just to kind of get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looks like Foster took his helmet off, linebacker for the Militia, and walks gingerly to the sideline and takes a knee. So we'll keep an eye out on him.
Trips to the top.
And, again, you're right, trips to the top, Bruce, and Maddox will scramble that way. He'll lob one to the corner of the end zone, and it's caught. It's a default touchdown.
Well, that's what I talked about in the open. I felt that default really needed to become a factor in this game. That meant that the quarterbacks were doing their job, getting them the football, and just a great job there by Charlie Maddox, just kind of waiting it out. And touchdown for the Raptors. And special teams so very important. I mean, this extra point, let's not take this for granted.
Aponic will be on for the extra point.
And that's Gooden holding.
Gooden, yeah, you're right, Bruce. Gooden is the holder. Clean snap, ball down, kick up, and the kick is good. Unbelievable. Raptors able to tie this one up at 7 apiece, 2:04 to play until halftime. We'll step aside and take a quick timeout.
I'll tell you what, Junior Default there, just a great job working with Charlie Maddox there to, just eyeing one another up. And, Charlie did a great job in just kind of waiting the defender out and throwing it up there and Default getting it. I mean, that's what your best athletes have to do.
100%. And when you have three players who are pretty athletic, obviously, and also skilled in a bunch package as a defender, you don't really know which way they're going, and you have Default who's able to go up and make a play. That's the most important thing, as the Raptors are able to strike back and score before the half. And now it's up to their defense now to try to hold this Militia offense at bay and try to get into the locker room with a tie game at the least.
Well, look, I think the Raptors are going to try and really throw everything but the kitchen sink maybe after Beatty, see if they can't get a turnover and get more points. I mean, let's see. If Beatty tries to go back and throw, the Raptors have been so effective with the blitz today, putting pressure on them. The unfortunate thing is I think the Raptors are down to one timeout.
No, I believe the Raptors have 2. Militia are
Two?
down to
Okay.
1.
Collette, who we haven't seen since the first possession of the game offensively for the Militia, is back into the game. It's a pistol formation set as Beatty takes the snap and hands to Collette. And there's not much doing on that play. It's going to be a pickup of about 2 before he's gang tackled and brought back past the line of scrimmage. And Collette slow to get up. In fact, he's not.
Yeah, he's not. He got slammed by that Reading defense. Slow to get up. So Williams with the tackle, but, that Reading defense really they had 8 in the box there. I think that they were waiting to see, whether it was going to be obviously the run or the pass. And if it was the pass, I think they were prepared to blitz.
Neither team really trying to stop the clock as it winds now under 1 minute and 10 seconds here until halftime. And it looks like both teams are just content with a 7-7 tie currently. Beatty back to pass. He's going to dump one off to Davis, I believe, and he's brought down shy of the 40-yard line.
Really dangerous pass there, but again, it was a screen.
Excuse me, that's Samuels. Davis, obviously the backup quarterback. My apologies, but again, a little screen, and it's almost to the point, Bruce, where the clock now winding. Maybe only a couple more plays for the Militia offense before this one expires. Honestly, maybe just one more.
I'm surprised if they were going to run the clock out. Why would they throw the ball? I mean, I'm just trying to rationalize that in my mind.
Beatty completes a pass to the far sideline, and the Militia work the ball in the Raptors' territory. And
now they call a timeout with 23.7 seconds and a first down.
That's Fisher again. It's his 7th catch of the game. And the Militia call timeout. So we'll keep things here, touch base, and talk about everyone watching really what's transpired here in the first half. First things first, we're going to do a quick shout-out to our sponsors.
Today's sponsors are Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, Vicky's Kitchen, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing.
Yeah, looks like our buddy Adam Cook is going to have some words with Reading head coach Mo before we go to the halftime as well. So
yeah,
stick around for that.
That'll be fun. Yeah, no doubt. Well, anxious to hear what he has to say. Obviously, lots of turnovers there in the first quarter. Different story in the second for the most part. Truesdale comes up with a big one. And now the Raptors defense tasked with holding down the fort over the last 23 seconds of game action here in the second quarter. Beatty takes the snap. He's got pretty solid protection for the moment, but the pass goes incomplete.
Other than that opening drive, you would have to say that Reading has really controlled the balance of the game. They played extremely well on defense. Both teams really, turned the ball over. I mean, it was
3 turnovers in a short period of time there in the first quarter.
Yeah, and so you have to, if you're the Raptors, you really have to be feeling good going into halftime, where the Militia, they've just really haven't had any identity on offense after that opening drive.
The Raptors will get the football to start the third quarter as Beatty takes the snap, and he's got some pressure. He feels it, and he's brought down to the backfield. Burgess in on the stop. And I tell you what, number 8, when he's coming at you at full force, that's never fun for the opposition. 7, now 6, 5, 4. And I believe that should bring us to the end of the first half. It will. 7-7 your score. Obviously a lot to dissect over that first half. And I think if you're a Raptors fan, you got to be pretty happy with what we've seen so far transpire in the first.
Yeah, I have to believe that when Coach Mo talks to Adam down there, that he is going to be pleased. There's Adam trying to lasso Coach there.
I believe so. I believe he's got him.
And,
Try to get
and
to
that's
him
tough.
momentarily as quickly
Those
as we
coaches
can.
are so pumped at the at the end there.
And we'll send it down to Adam now, who's standing by with Coach Mo.
Tie game at 7-7. What are your immediate thoughts about this game so far?
Oh, I love it. You know, I think our guys got tired of, you know, the last couple of weeks, and then, you know, this is a heavy hitter team here, undefeated. So we come out with a lot of aggression. We game plan all week. We made some major adjustments during the week. Obviously, we make adjustments during the game as well too. So I like what we're doing right now.
How hungry are the guys for this win?
Sound like this side, they're real hungry. I know right now that we never was expecting 80-degree weather out here today, but I mean they're fighting through it because they got playing in it too as well. So our guys really want this win. It's about time. You know, it's been a rough couple of weeks, so it's about time we turn the tide now.
What adjustments should we be looking forward to for the second half?
I think we're keeping what we're doing. There's little mistakes that we're doing that we're going to clean up in the halftime. But I think we're moving the ball well on offense. We just got cut out the interceptions, obviously. We're running the ball real well. Defensively, we just keep attacking. So I don't think it's going to be much adjustment from us, but it's just a matter of just keep on being hungry and attacking them on both sides of the ball.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Mo heading back to the locker room. It's 7 apiece here at halftime at Don Thomas Stadium. Max Gratzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley on the call with you. 15 minutes and counting until the third quarter begins, and we'll see you then.
What's going on, everybody? It's Marcus Pyers, wide receiver, tight end for the Reading Raptors. We're here today at the Philly Pretzel Factory with Amy. Amy's the owner and operator of the Philly Pretzel Factory here in Muhlenberg. Today we're doing a promotional style event, trying to get people to come buy some pretzels as well as get some game day tickets. And maybe Amy can kind of, explain to us what she means by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are super excited to be partnering with the Reading Raptors this season to support the team and also support our fans by making it available or making an opportunity available for you to earn some free tickets and come to the games because you have a chance to win my shirt here. We will be throwing them into the field at every home game, and this could be yours.
So we're waiting for the little rivet bites, the pretzel bites, to come out of the oven, and we're going to take them over here, and we're going to break them apart, obviously because they stay together in the oven. So I have my little regular gloves on to touch food and whatnot, but I was told I got to put my heat gloves on, so I got them on. We're going to wait for them to pop out, and we're going to break them apart. All right, here comes my man Daryl, super hot right here, bang! Push them out, let's go break them up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And here are your 2 free passes to one of our home games.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. So we play on this upcoming Saturday is our home opener. There are going to be food trucks there. You know, the team's going to be, obviously we're going to be there. Should be a very eventful atmosphere. So hopefully we come to see you come out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
2 free tickets to one of the upcoming games. And our friend Mark is here. We'll tell you all about it.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Marcus Pyers, wide receiver, tight end for the Reading Raptors. We're here today at the Philly Pretzel Factory with Amy. Amy's the owner and operator of the Philly Pretzel Factory here in Muhlenberg. Today we're doing a promotional style event, trying to get people to come buy some pretzels as well as get some game day tickets. And maybe Amy can kind of, explain to us what she means by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are super excited to be partnering with the Reading Raptors this season to support the team and also support our fans by making it available or making an opportunity available for you to earn some free tickets and come to the games because you have a chance to win my shirt here. We will be throwing them into the field at every home game, and this could be yours.
So we're waiting for the little rivet bites, the pretzel bites, to come out of the oven, and we're going to take them over here, and we're going to break them apart, obviously because they stay together in the oven. So I have my little regular gloves on, just touch food and whatnot, but I was told I got to put my heat gloves on, so I got them on. We're going to wait for them to pop out, and we're going to break them apart. All right, here comes my man Daryl, super, super hot right here, bang! Push them out, let's go break them up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And here are your 2 free passes to one of our home games.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. So we play on this upcoming Saturday is our home opener. There's going to be food trucks there. The team's going to be, obviously we're going to be there. Should be a very eventful atmosphere. So hopefully we come see you come out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
2 free tickets to one of the upcoming games, and our friend Mark is here. We'll tell you all about it.
Welcome back to Don Thomas Stadium, everyone. Max Kretzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley on the call with you. It's 7-7 here at halftime. I'd expect, at least in my opinion, more offense, at least from the Militia, based on their 4-0 record, especially what we saw on that first drive from them, moving the football right down the field. Hasn't been the case, however, as we move forward into the second half.
That first drive was incredible. It's the best drive we've seen in the 2 games we've covered. They went 75 yards, got the touchdown. You're thinking it was going to be a long day for the Raptors, but Reading responded defensively, has shut them down since. And each team is really relying on one guy on offense to carry the load. It's Beatty for the Militia, and for the Raptors, it's Gooden, but I don't think we're surprised by that.
We're not surprised by that. One of the guys that I said had to kind of emerge for the Raptors today if they wanted to win this game was Junior Default.
Yeah.
He caught the touchdown pass for Reading. The other thing that I talked about in the open was the importance of coaching. And I tell you what, I think that the play calling has been very imaginative so far. The Raptors just feed off of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And really, other than that opening drive, when we were just kind of like, oh my gosh, what kind of a game, is this going to be? The Raptors have really controlled this game, other than that initial great drive by the Militia. But at 7-7, hey, it's anybody's game.
No, without a doubt. Joe, anything stand out while you have the stats in front of you?
Yeah, really. I mean, we talked about Beatty. He's attempted 17 passes. He's completed 13 of them for 150 yards in the first half. He did have the one interception, which started to slant the field a little bit in Reading's favor. Of course, the Raptors had 2 interceptions as well, but Tanner White not able to get too much going while he was in. Charlie Maddox only 2 for 5 so far, but he has the touchdown to default to tie up the game. And it'll be interesting to see what these two teams have for us in the second half. Not a lot of comfort offensively for either team since that first drive. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of halftime adjustments we get. But, we heard Coach Mo at halftime, going into the halftime break, he didn't think a lot needed to be changed. He's really excited with the way his team is playing, especially defensively.
Just seems like the offense hums a little bit more positively when Maddox is under center. Would you guys agree with that? I think not only today, but what we've seen in games past.
Well, I think Charlie, it's difficult to compare skill sets between, Tanner and Charlie. But Charlie, I mean, he's a little scat back guy. He reminds me of Doug Flutie, I mean, he's going to run around. He's going to do what it takes. He's a competitor. I covered the guy in high school. I mean, he does everything possible to try and get his team over the top. Tanner White, he got dinged up there. Charlie came in, led him on the touchdown drive. I think Coach Cooper and the offense, on the offense, has a difficult decision to make going into the second half. Do you bring Tanner White back in, or do you stick with, Charlie Maddox, who got him the touchdown? I mean, that's been the burning question for Reading all year, is which quarterback's going to emerge? Which one's going to take control of the team? Right now, it looks like Charlie Maddox is the guy.
Right. I think you also have to touch base here and talk about the defense really able to answer multiple turnovers from what the Militia forced, and then the Raptors come back and do the same exact thing. They could have easily folded. You mentioned the emotion that they play with, and they continue to show that, what we saw in the first half and probably here in the second half as well. Do you guys expect the turnovers to continue to play a big story? Because we didn't see, obviously, as many there in the second quarter, but you never know in the second half.
I don't know that it's necessarily going to be the turnovers that happened. I think you're going to rely on the pressure. The Raptors' pressure has ratcheted up, and the defensive line has been the leader in these games. Even the ones that they've lost, the Raptors' pressure rate has been substantial. And we saw there near the end of the first half, linebacker David Burgess able to take down Beatty for the sack and basically close out the second half. I'd expect that pressure to be maintained and maybe force a turnover, but at least make sure that Beatty is uncomfortable in the pocket.
Obviously, that second quarter, he was under more pressure. He was also asked to throw the football more times in the second quarter than he was in the first quarter, and we'll see if that plays a story as we get set here for second half action from Don Thomas Stadium. Max Kratzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley on the call. We'll see you in a matter of moments. We're still on camera. We're still having fun. Where people are snacking behind us, I guess. We're not going to break. We'll keep it here. Hey, I'll look at the camera all day. I'll look at the camera all day.
Yeah,
everybody's hanging out. Everybody's hanging out.
Everybody's hanging out. Hey, our buddy Dave Berman stopped by. Dave is quite a character. He's doing the public address. Dave Berman.
You guys got a nice little picture together. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Show a little respect.
No, we get people from all over, and that's the one great thing, about this league is the fact that it's drawing people from all over, the state, as well as here in New Jersey. I mean, Militia is based in Ocean County. This is their final road game of the year. They seem to be pretty relieved at the fact that that was their final home game, and they're going to have final road game. They got 3 home games to finish the season, and that's going to be important for playoff seedings.
100%. All right, we'll send it to break here unless you guys want to keep talking at the camera over. We won't even go back for the second. I'm kidding. Second half action coming your way next right here from Don Thomas Stadium.
What's going on?
Third quarter action starts now here in Berks County. Max Grasula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley with you here this afternoon. Cool breeze as the sun sets, and the Raptors look for their third victory of the season, try to get proof to 3-3 on the year. They have 1/2 of game action left to prove they earned it, and it starts right now. Wallace will kick off, and the Raptors will get the first possession of the second half. Pretty solid kick. And it's fielded at the 15-yard line. Truesdale fields it, and he's brought down shy of the 35-yard line. Pretty solid return for the most part. And we'll see what the Raptors offense can do. Is it going to be Tanner White? Is it going to be Charlie Maddox? We shall see. A lot of white jerseys down there, Joe. I don't know. You tell me. You seeing any numbers?
Well, I do think that was Messiah Smythe on the return. I think that was 81. But no, I am still searching.
Looks like Maddox is
Looks like
jogging
Maddox
out.
is
There
in
he
there.
is. Yes, it will be Charlie Maddox here to start the second half for the Raptors. Scanning the sideline, looking to see if Tanner White is out there or if still is seeking medical attention.
Well, he's not sitting on the bench, so.
Well, maybe he's still in the locker room getting looked at. We'll see. We'll try to keep you guys updated as we progress here through the second half. Shockley as well, who we believe pulled that hammy. Don't want to make any assumptions, but Gooden on that note brought down immediately in the backfield.
Wow, big number 13 there, Leon Foster. Just shot.
We saw Foster shaking up earlier in that second quarter, so good to see him back out on the football field.
Gooden's last 2 carries now have lost a total of 4 yards, so Raptors' offensive line needs to clean that up because we know what Gooden can do when he gets into the open field.
It's a second down and 12.
Yeah,
Roberson to the near sideline. Default top of your screen momentarily. And Gooden in the backfield. Maddox back to pass. Steps up. He'll fire. Looking for Default. Has a step.
Oh, that's got to be a flag. Oh,
Bruce,
my.
it almost looked like Default stopped running after the football, and that's one of the main reasons why it was a little overthrown. I thought it was a pretty solid pass there for Maddox.
It sure was, and I guess, some feet got tangled up there, but you're right. I think a little bit maybe of a misplay.
You had to come back to the ball just a little bit, and that near hesitation caused the miscommunication.
I think that was good defense by the Militia. I think Default pulled up before he needed to. Maddox had led him, and until he attempted to readjust, it was over his head.
3 wide receiver set, bottom of the screen. Maddox in the shotgun, Gooden to his left. Pyers, man-to-man coverage up high. Maddox is back to pass, and now he'll scramble to his left, backpedaling, and fires one to the near sideline. It's Default. He's got a pretty healthy gain as he works his way up across the 40-yard line, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the first down marker. It's going to be 4th down and short. We'll see what Coach Mo elects to do.
Oh, that was a great job there by Default. I mean, he just tightrope down the sidelines. He didn't have much more than a foot inside the marker, and it looks like the Raptors are going to kick.
Aponic is on to punt. You guys surprised by the call?
I think it's the right move considering how well the defense has played for the Raptors.
Two men back to receive.
Oh, look at that.
Great kick, great roll.
Punt.
Oh, they are going to down that inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Fisher was back there and ultimately picked up the football, but it's not before dropping inside of the 5-yard line.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. So very important. And in this particular case, do we have a flag?
We do. We have a flag. It looks like it's going to be on the Raptors. Wow. Waiting for
Coach Mo out around the 40-yard line. He's going to talk to the referees and see what ultimately the decision is.
I think it's on the Militia. Oh, no.
72.
Well, it looks like it's going to be on the Raptors, which means they're going to have to punt it away a second time. And not only that, they're going to be backed up as well, deeper into their own territory.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was, but
I think you have to wait until the ball's kicked, and Aponic did kind of hang on to it a bit back there.
Well, if you're going to nab a guy for being too aggressive or hustling too much, it's going to be Steve Alexi, who's always moving 100 miles an hour.
Aponic. Well, definitely a worse punt this time around, but it takes a Raptors hop inside of the 35-yard line before dying around the 32. Well, I'll tell you what, penalties, Bruce. How about that? There's a difference between the 4-yard line and the 32-yard line, and we have another penalty marker down on the field after the play.
There was a little kind of gamesmanship going on the sidelines over on that Militia side of the field.
Looks like Tanner White also is back on the sidelines for the Raptors as looks like a pad on that lower back.
Yeah, he does have his back plate unadjusted and was carrying bags of ice. So we'll have to see what happens. It's good to see him back on the sideline. Don't know if we'll see him back in game action.
I think easy to, surmise that he's only the emergency quarterback at this point. It looks like it's going to go against the Militia. So either way, Reading has kind of come out okay, whether it be for that first kick and then having the penalty after the second one. So,
well, this one certainly looks like a personal foul. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it was a personal foul. They were set to start at their own 4. The Raptors penalty forced the re-kick, and it was down around the 30 or so, but the personal foul pushes Militia back to, the 16-yard line, 17?
Indeed, 16-yard line to be exact. Beatty out on the field for the Militia's first offensive possession of this third quarter. Beatty takes the snap, hands off to his tailback. It's Collette who breaks free, and no one's going to catch him inside the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Militia. First play from scrimmage on that drive.
Unbelievable. Reading really crashed and sold out against that. Just a little bit of crease, and with everybody up front, all he had to do is just break through the line of scrimmage, and he was gone.
Almost thought I spoke too soon as Truesdale was in hot pursuit, unable to come up with the tackle near the goal line. And just like that, the Militia strike back. It's 13-7 pending the extra point.
Boy, talk about a turn of events.
Well, we talked about it at the end of the game 2 weeks ago. Big plays, turnovers, those are the things you want to avoid.
Well,
Raptors just got burned in the biggest way.
Wallace on for the extra point. And it's obviously a big one here in the third quarter. Snap. It's partially blocked, and it's short. So the Raptors special teams continue to play at a high level. They get a hand on the football. We'll send it to break. 13-7 your score, Militia lead. It officially goes down as an 84-yard touchdown run for Collette. And that extended the lead for the Militia 13-7. They missed the extra point. And Wallace now will kick off back to the Raptors. Truesdale back to receive. Can't miss him with the orange cleats down there. The ball's away. And it's short. Blanco gets yet another opportunity at a return. This time not as successful as the previous opportunity. He's brought down at the 32-yard line of the Raptors, and that's where they'll set up shop on their next drive.
All right, well, Reading's just got to come out here and go about their business. I mean, it doesn't really much matter.
I think it's easier said than done, though, Bruce. I mean, you just saw your defense give up an 84-yard touchdown run, and now you got to go back to work against a team that's undefeated. And you really have been sputtering offensively. We'll see. You got to play with some confidence, though.
Yeah.
If you don't trust yourself, no one's going to trust you.
Yeah,
So
no,
let's see if they can go to work here and start throwing some haymakers.
Really do. I would expect a big dose of, Gooden, but
Blanco and Gooden in the backfield. Again, Shockley pulled up, number 32. Lame in that first half. And we have a whistle. It was that right hamstring, by the way, for Shockley. It's a delay game on that note for the Raptors. It's going to back them up 5 yards. And not a good start, obviously, on the second possession for the Raptors offensively. That'll bring up a first down and 15.
doesn't look like it's going to affect the play call.
Maddox takes the snap. He's back to pass, has a clean pocket, steps up, fires to the far sideline. It's the fault. He dropped the football. He may have been on the deck. And are they going to rule that a fumble?
No, it looks like he was down by contact.
Down by contact, and indeed.
You saw him, the official just kind of wave his arm.
Well, while the Raptors are in a huddle, let's get you some updates around the league as far as scoring perspectives go. Cumberland County Bullies beat the Central Jersey Vikings 24-2 today. Cumberland.
They've liked this single matchup with default. It might make sense to go deep here, second and short.
Maddox hands off. Gooden is the ball carrier, works his way forward for about 5, and he's brought down shy of the 45-yard line. Just want to mention real quick, 2-3 now is the record of Cumberland. New Jersey Unit 26, Wilmington Wolfpack 6. That's a final. Tri-County Panthers 50, Mid-Penn Knights 0. That's a final. And where we are right now is the final game remaining in the NEAFL here in Week 6. First down for the Raptors. Blanco and Gooden still back there for protection. Maddox fires, Pyers in and out of his hands, and that's his first target of the game. He's not going to be happy with himself.
Yeah, no, he should have had that one, and that was a really good play design. Just kind of a quick pass, high percentage. Just got to look that in.
That'll bring up a second down and 10. Roberson up high, default down low as far as the screen goes. And now only Gooden in the backfield. Let's see if Maddox can start playing with some swagger here and get some completions going. There's an opportunity. It's in and out of the hands of his intended target, and the pass goes incomplete. Dangerous play there for the Raptors offense.
Yeah, pass just a tad behind the receiver, and he almost tipped it into the defender's hands for an interception.
McGuigan.
The Raptors just very fortunate there, but now facing a 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd down and 10 to be exact. And let's see what offensive coordinator Ian Cooper draws up on this play, Bruce. A little bit of pressure now for the OC.
Yeah, and double wides, both top and bottom here.
Low snap. Maddox just has to fall on it, and that'll kill the opportunity on 3rd down.
So Reading get a first down, but have to kick it away now.
Yeah, they'll have to punt for the second time here in the 3rd quarter. Aponic is on, and he'll boot it away. Ball bounces inside the 40-yard line. It's fielded there, and out of a rocket ship comes the Militia special teams. And they will take it all the way for another touchdown.
On the dead run, picked up that ball so many times, the return men just let it bounce. I believe that was Anthony Albanese.
Albanese, you got it.
Albanese. I mean, he just had a full head of steam and just went right up the sideline there. And again, I talk so much about how so many times the return men, once the ball hits the ground, they just don't go after it. In that case, it led to a touchdown.
Well, it was a high arcing punt. Bounced inside the 40-yard line, fielded there by Albanese, and he took it the distance. Back-to-back plays on offense. I know we're going to count one on special teams, obviously, but it's back-to-back plays with an opportunity to score offensively for the Militia, and they capitalize with 2 touchdowns. One on the ground by Collette, and the other on a punt return by Albanese.
Wow. Just
Aponic obviously frustrated with himself as he chucks his helmet on the Raptors sideline. With 8:57 to play in the third quarter, it's 19-7, pending the extra point. And Wallace is on. I think they're actually going to go. It looks like they're going to go for 2 and try to make it a 21-19 game.
Ooh.
It's a massive hit.
I don't know who that was. We got to figure that out. And it was in there for the 2, but oh my.
Yeah, that was the backup quarterback again, Davis, with an opportunity to punch it in. And he does.
He got lit up.
But he paid the price for it, got lit up at the goal line. Nevertheless, it's 21-7 your score, 8:40 to play in the third quarter.
Today's game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ's Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, Vicky's Kitchen, Valvoline, Dark Side Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing.
Well, the Militia have sure woken up in the second half, haven't they, Max?
I would say so. But, hey, they play 4 quarters in football for a reason. We'll see if the Raptors are able to answer on their next possession. Really been 1 step forward, 2 steps back recently for the Raptors. As the sun continues to set here at Exeter High.
A beautiful day here on Easter weekend, and got a decent crowd on hand, too.
Can't really ask for much more. Truesdale is going to return this one from inside his own 5-yard line. Has some space to work with as he maneuvers down the near sideline, past the 40-yard line, and now bumped out of bounds at midfield. Excuse me, that's not Truesdale. I keep saying it is, but it's actually Messiah Smythe. Messiah Smythe, number 81, on the return.
Another great return by him. Need the Raptors offense to capitalize.
So Smythe is the one with the orange cleats. That'll be easy to remember now.
Yeah, and it was Shockley with the red cleats. So
yeah, Shockley red cleats, orange
Shockley's
cleats
got the red.
for Smythe. And now Maddox back to work offensively as the ball is officially placed at the Militia 48-yard line.
Yeah, starting in plus territory. Time to answer.
Passing formation with good, the only setback.
Maddox takes the snap. Didn't look like the offensive line was ready except for the center, and he's brought down in the backfield.
Well, the fans are
Kenyon,
really
number
having a good time out there today,
One of
aren't
the
they,
many
Max?
Militia members in there on the sack.
Yeah, the natives are definitely restless here in the second half of the game at Don Thomas Stadium, with the Raptors trailing by 14 now.
Default in motion, bottom of the screen. Maddox back to pass, scrambling.
There's a
And
flag
he'll
down.
try the far side. Might be a hold.
Another
Maddox
flag.
lost his footing. And he gets hammered after the play.
Oh, my God.
And another flag.
Helmet comes off. Maddox took a big shot.
Well after the play. I mean,
Multiple penalty markers down on the field.
Yeah, there were initially, I think, going to be 2 on the Raptors, but obviously that third one is going to be on the Militia for a late hit.
Yeah, very late hit. And with Tanner White already banged up, he's actually going to grab his helmet now and walk toward the sideline off the bench. So we'll see if he has to come into the game. Maddox
He's walking off.
I think he got his helmet knocked off. That's why he's got to exit the game.
He says he's fine.
Well, there's a lot to sort out here. You have the holding penalty in the backfield as Maddox went to scramble away. Originally going to his left, then back to his right. Lost his footing around midfield and got hammered shortly thereafter. And not only that, he's shaken up after the play for obvious reasons. Now, he is throwing the football on the near sideline while the referees discuss.
He's ready to go. Got a lot of action on the field, in the stands.
That has always been the case here on these Raptors games. we've never lacked action or drama.
Well, here's the ruling from the head official.
We have multiple fouls on the play. First, we have illegal hands to the face, defense. Then we have illegal shift, offense.
Illegal hands to the face on the defense, and one on Raptors. What does that look like? A
defense
block in the back?
So we're going to enforce 2 fouls on the play. It's going to be a first down.
First down for the Raptors ultimately is what's going to transpire.
Right.
I think offsetting penalties and then 15.
Correct. I think obviously, I guess not a block in the back, but maybe a hold there as Maddox went to scramble away.
It was illegal hands to the face was one of the calls.
Right.
A lot to sort out there.
Yeah, a lot to sort out is exactly right. But actually, I think that the officiating crew has done considering all of the action and all of the issues that we've had this game, I think they've done a great job.
I would agree with that. Not easy, especially on a play where you have multiple penalties to sort out. Maddox has his helmet back on, and it looks like he'll stay in the football game.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was shaken up. It looked much worse live than maybe it was.
Couldn't really tell with so many bodies around him.
Yeah, and I think his helmet popped off, and because it was associated with a penalty and a breakage, he's able to come right back into the game.
Yeah, right. They needed to get back to the original line of scrimmage and then step off 15, I believe. Nope, it's stepping it off from the spot.
It's where the spot. Yeah, it's from the spot because it was dead ball.
Oh, my. Wow. So the Raptors are inside the 30. What a turn of events there.
So the personal foul is ultimately what the most important thing is here, as the football is indeed moved inside the 30-yard line, mark it at about the 28 to be exact. And the Raptors really now, it's an understatement to say, but they have to capitalize on this possession after giving up 2 touchdowns in a row. And not only that, you have to see, hey, can we count on the defense moving forward here? Haven't played great since the half, and we have a penalty marker down.
Yeah, false start on the Raptors. What were you saying about a fast-moving half, Max?
I don't know, Bruce. Don't listen to me ever. That's one thing I've learned. Whatever I say, do the opposite.
Double wides, top and bottom for the Raptors now.
Let's see if
Passing
the Raptors
formation.
can get Pyers going in the slot. He's been quiet so far in his last season playing professional football. Maddox scrambles to his right. Slings one over the middle. And there is Pyers on that note. And he's brought down inside of the 25-yard line. How about that for a broadcaster pun? Jinx. What's the word I'm looking for?
The reverse.
I don't know.
That's magic right there.
Better lucky than good? I don't know.
There you go. That works.
That is Pyers' first catch of the game. We saw one be bobbled earlier. He was unable to pull it in, but he gets that one and is able to pick up about 10 yards.
And that's the one thing that Charlie Maddox can do. a lot of good improvisational movements from Charlie. He's going to bide some time. If somebody's open, you give them a little time, and they'll get open.
Pyers has a little Adam Thielen to him.
Oh, what a great pass there.
Good catch. Looks like
Default was there on the catch.
Might be cramping up here.
He is cramping with that. Looks like that right calf. We'll send it to break, and hopefully Default is okay when we come back. Out of a timeout. Default able to get up under his own power and jog to the sidelines. He's going to get looked at, obviously get some hydration, try to work out that cramp. Not great timing, however, as the Raptors lose one of their most important offensive weapons nearing the red zone. In fact, a yard away from that on the 16. Gooden gets the carry, works upfield, finds a hole. Maneuvers his way inside of the 5, and he's brought down just shy of the goal line.
Well, Gooden hasn't been too busy this quarter, but he showed what he's all about there, kind of weaving his way all the way to the goal line. And another player down.
We have another player down, this time an offensive lineman. We'll keep things here. We'll give a quick shout out to our sponsors and hope these cramps and whatnot, injuries, start to dissipate.
Yeah, I hope the players are okay. We'll take time to thank our presenting sponsors once again, our Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, Vicky's Kitchen, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing. Now that was only, I believe, Gooden's second carry of the third quarter here in the second half, but he made it count, picking up the first down and getting the Raptors inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, and really the way that the Raptors have been very effective in stretching the field side to side. You know, Maddox has been able to hit some of those out patterns effectively. He's been able to roll out a bit, and, boy, that should open up the interior there for Gooden.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'd assume the next few plays should be called for Gooden when you're inside of the 5-yard line. I know Maddox has a touchdown pass to Default earlier in this ball game, so he's shown the ability to punch one in from a passing perspective in short yardage situations, but Gooden just had a really healthy carry, and he's been doing it all season long. Expect to see the same here.
Yeah, I expect the Militia to crowd that box. They're going to be up on the line of scrimmage. You're going to have 8, maybe 9 guys sitting right there expecting Gooden to get the ball. Whether that happens or not, we'll see. But like you mentioned, Max, they went to Default to score that first touchdown, maybe bucking the trends of the analytics of what to expect from the Raptors.
So Big Shaq Walker able to get up under the help of his training staff, and he will work his way to the sideline.
Looks like he's got a little bit of tweaked the knee or something.
Looks like that left knee, yeah.
Tell you what, I think the offensive line for Reading has done a commendable job today so far.
Smythe, he's got the size advantage on his opponent. Man-to-man coverage momentarily will be at the top of your screen. Roberson at the bottom.
It's like direct snap to Gooden.
Gooden takes the snap. He'll try the near sideline, turns the corner, still on his feet, and he barrels his way down to the 1.
There is a penalty flag on the play. Came on the near sideline, Raptors sideline.
Maybe a hold?
Nah, I got to believe that maybe somebody not up at the line of scrimmage or an offside.
Illegal formation.
It's going to be offside.
Offside. It is
All right.
offside.
Offside's on the Militia.
So that should be half the distance to the goal.
Or they could just decline it, take the play.
Take the play, and it's
Gooden got
second.
up to the 2-yard line, I believe. So unless they want the option to run first down again.
That's a tough decision.
I think you're probably going to you're going to accept the penalty because you want to
You
have
want
more
4 downs
shots,
again.
More shots at the end zone.
First down and goal, ball is marked at the 1.5-yard line. Same formation. Burgess, the linebacker on defense, for some more power is out there. And Gooden turns the corner, spins, and trucks a defender as he works his way into the end zone for a Raptors touchdown.
That was with authority, I guess. That's the definition of with authority.
I would say so.
I'm glad I'm not Kenny Samuels, who
Impressive
took the brunt of
drive,
that
though,
hit.
Bruce, for the Raptors to be able to take advantage and capitalize off the penalties and punch one in offensively.
And see, that's, what the Reading Raptors can do. I mean, feeding off the emotion. That was a terrific drive. Charlie Maddox really led that drive. Maybe when we sit back and look at this season, that's the drive that Charlie Maddox emerged as the quarterback of these Reading Raptors.
Oponic on for the extra point. Kick is up. It's blocked at the line of
Oh,
scrimmage.
my God, not another one.
Not again. Not like 2 weeks ago.
Couldn't see who got a hand on it. But the big man is finally brought down around the 40-yard line.
The last home game, the Wilmington team returned a blocked extra point for 2, and that really changed the complexion of the entire game.
That was Cheeseborough who was able to recover the blocked kick. So your score officially now 21-13 with 5:17 remaining in the third quarter.
See, if it were me and I'm not the coach out there, I'd do an onside here. I mean, I'd really shake things up.
Sounds like some risky business there, Bruce.
Well,
your Raptors defenders should be well rested. They gave up the touchdown quickly, then we're off the field.
That's true.
Then the touchdown by the Militia were on special teams. I know some of these guys are playing on special teams as well, but the defense should be rested.
I think Cheeseborough might need an oxygen tank over there on the sidelines after that run back.
Three men back deep for the Militia.
they're right, and I wouldn't call that a hands team up front for the Militia. I don't know. I mean, but look, that's tough to work on. Special teams, especially onside, tough to work on when you only have one practice per week,
So you have Albanese and Collette back to return. Number 36 and number 7. And Oponic.
Their 2 most recent touchdown scorers
Indeed.
as well.
Okay, so they've got even on each side. Let's see what happens.
See if Oponic can put a good kick on this one.
If it's an onside, it's going to go to the visitor's sideline.
And the kick is away. It's a pretty healthy one, too.
That's their 3rd deep.
Fielded
man.
at the 10.
We've seen a lot of things in these games so far, Guy. The only thing we haven't seen is an onside kick. So
Sanders gets his first touch of the game, and he works his way across the 30-yard line and brought down there shortly after. So the Militia will take over at the 33-yard line as Beatty and company back out on the field now.
Well, they've touched the ball twice in the third quarter. Each has been for a touchdown.
And their return game has been really spectacular. Even if you take out the touchdown with the punt, it's been pretty solid. They're getting chunk yardage on the returns.
They really are.
Meacham, number 45, now in the backfield as well. Carry goes to Brown. So we've seen multiple running backs in the backfield. Not only that, fullbacks as well for the Militia. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Reading really playing against the run. I mean, they've got 8 guys in the box. And just formation-wise, formation-wise, with the 3 receivers there, trying to spread the Raptors out.
Brown, not much running room on back-to-back plays, but both have resulted in positive yardage. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. We'll call it a 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Interesting to see here what Reading does, whether they sell out against the run or not. Formation-wise, the Militia are trying to spread the Raptors out with 3 receivers. Everybody's crashing inside. Oh, I think they were offsides or no? Yeah.
Dead.
I was going to say, I thought that the Raptors were offsides there. I mean, there was just, the Raptors just didn't even care that there were 3 guys lined up outside the end.
Certainly not.
Still over 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter.
You still have Meacham in the backfield as well as a blocker. Number 45, Beatty, will take a deep shot, and it's incomplete. Good defense there on the back end of things. And that was Perez in coverage.
Yeah, that really was a great job by Perez closing that down. I mean, he was on a dead run. I mean, he was running so fast he didn't have enough time to turn around. Ball hit him in the back.
He might be shaken up. He might have come down hard on his elbow. He's in a little bit of pain, Perez is.
Yeah, great job there, Thomas Perez.
Yeah, elbow, wrist, I'm not sure.
We have some more movement up front.
Marquise Slocum on the defensive line there, got that offensive man for the Militia to jump. Haven't called Slocum's name too much. I would expect we're going to start calling his name a lot here down the stretch.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Washington, Falby, Slocum, Burgess. Those guys are going to have to make some noise here, get pressure on Beatty and close those rushing lanes for the Raptors to have a chance to tie.
Beatty scrambles out to his left, chased down by a couple of white jerseys, and he throws it in the danger zone. It's intercepted, and it's Williams who picks off Beatty here in the 3rd quarter.
That is exactly what we talked about. I mean, you're playing into Reading's hands there by going back to pass. Big time pressure on Beatty. Doesn't see, just threw it right to the defender, and now Reading back in business.
Karan Williams not a stranger to making big plays on defense. He had pick earlier this season. Heard his name a lot. Plays great safety for the Raptors. And now Maddox in the offense looking to tie the game. They're going to need that 2-point conversion after the blocked
definitely.
extra point, though.
Well, I don't know. Do you go deep on this one?
I don't know.
On the first play? They've been effective with this double wide set.
1st and 10 from the 41. Maddox back to pass, gets rid of it quickly. It's blocked and batted down at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up second down and 10.
That double wide, top and bottom with Gooden in the backfield set, been very effective here the second
It has
half
been.
for Reading.
No question about it. Default back into the game after he was cramping on the last possession. Roberson, one-on-one, bottom of the screen. Pyers still in the slot as he's been most of this game when he's not blocking. Maddox pressured and flushed to his right, directing traffic, firing out of bounds. He was looking for default, and it goes incomplete. So now it's a third down and 10, Bruce, just like that. Not what you want to see when you're down 21-13, still plenty of time, but you want to take advantage of these opportunities, especially when you start a drive in opponent's territory.
Well, and I think, too, I think this is obviously two-down territory for Coach Cooper, so he doesn't necessarily, have to get it all here at one shot.
Pyers now in the slot on the opposite side of the field. Maddox back to pass yet again. Here comes the rush, and he throws it incomplete.
They were trying to set up a screen to Gooden. It's a good call, but the pressure got to Maddox before he was ready to get the ball away, and he had to throw it over his head.
Yeah, fourth down now, and I think probably a good move to kick. Still a lot of time here. What you want to do is hopefully pin them back and play good defense.
100%. Aponic will be on the punt.
Raptors have been getting pressure. They have a sack. The pressure has forced down 2 interceptions. So, no, it's the right idea. Punt now, end of the third.
Albanese and Fisher back to receive.
Quick drive for the Raptors. Couldn't get anything going. 3 incompletions.
Aponic boots one. Takes a hop around the 10.
Oh, why did he
fielded at
field
the
that?
1. Fisher still on his feet, but it was definitely a poor decision to field it inside of his own 5-yard line, and he's tackled shy of the 15. And we have some pushing and shoving going on after the play's over.
Yeah, and there was a flag during the play on the far side of the field. I don't know what that was all about.
Alexi shaken up as he's just now getting to his feet. We'll have to check the penalty marker. But after an insanely quick first half, the third quarter's taken just about the entire first half to play.
Well, I'll tell you what. Both of these teams, there's a lot of hard hitting going on, a lot of emotion on both of these sides. These guys are out here playing, man.
They are. They're balling, as I like to say.
No foul. Face mask.
Face mask
on the
against
defense.
Reading.
Yeah. It's going to be 15 yards. It's going to be a first down.
Now that's what the penalty on the far side was. Looked like a Reading player grabbed one of the Militia players, and that's going to improve field position up to about the 35-yard line for the Militia to start this drive. Field position really has been the determining factor for Reading.
No, definitely not.
They have, these big plays.
Even when either one of these teams has had the ball in their opponent's territory, regardless, they haven't really been able to make much happen.
See how Beatty responds here after his second interception. Actually, he's not in. It is
they got the heavy backfield.
Backup. Yep, it is Dimitri Davis in, number 9, under center with his split backs, and he's going to keep it.
Ooh, and a helmet comes flying off.
That's Marcus Slocum. Got the back of his helmet. We got
And
another
there's
penalty.
a penalty, yeah.
Multiple flags down. These both may be against Reading.
Well, I got to tell you what, having Beatty off the field, obviously, for the most part, you know that they're going to run the football with Davis. and probably to just make sure they secure it on the first play of the game, milk some clock, and not turn the football over. We'll check the penalty.
Face mask, personal foul, 15 yards. And then unsportsmanlike conduct, number 90, both enforced.
That's 30 yards of penalties.
Oh, my. Yeah, I mean, I know that it's intense. Can't lose your composure.
Both of those penalties will be enforced.
Yeah, one was during the action, one was after the action. Big plays, turnovers, penalties. We've seen 2 big plays from the Militia. We've now seen 9 penalties from the Raptors, 2 of which just gave up 30 yards.
Wow.
And the Raptors have an interception. So, honestly, the Militia checked 2 of those 3 boxes as well. They have a bunch of penalties to their name, and they've thrown 2 interceptions, but they have not really given up big plays. The Raptors have scored twice, but they were forced to earn it every single time.
Exactly right.
Well, we'll see what happens here after all that. Ball's obviously marked now to 35. This time, not the Militia's 35, the Reading 35.
Looks like Davis still in there at quarterback.
Indeed. He has it. He'll try the left side. He's brought down almost immediately. It's going to be a pickup of 0. It's going to be a second down and 10. And again, another chance for the Raptors defense to flex their muscle and keep their offense in the ballgame.
Davis hasn't shown an ability to throw the football. All he's doing is direct snapping, and he's acting like just a fullback out there. So Reading is just, anytime Davis is in there, I mean, they're just selling out against the run.
Well, he's still in the game. So we'll see how long this is going to last with Davis in at the quarterback position.
Yeah, we don't know if Beatty's hurt or whether the Militia are just trying to just run it out. Literally.
Well, hey, so far it's worked. I'll say that.
Beatty's
Regardless
over on
of
the sideline, just walking around. He does not have his helmet.
Davis with a man's run inside the 30-yard line. And I tell you what, when you're running the football like that, it makes the game a lot easier.
It sure does.
Inside of 30 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Little swagger on that Militia sidelines now.
So that's going to be the final play of the fourth quarter, and we will send it down momentarily on the sideline. We have a report from Sophie. Fourth quarter action is going to come your way next. We will flip the field. Militia and Raptors both will walk to the opposite side, and we'll send it down now to Sophie.
The official trash provider of the Raptors. Mike Baker, social media marketing. Philly Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg.
All right, we got to keep working on that, Bruce. Tell you what, you got to keep working on it. Not easy in 2025.
Yeah, you know those wireless mics.
You know, I tell you what, one of my first broadcasts I ever did, my mic was muted for the first half of the game. I didn't realize it. It was a whole makeshift broadcast. You know, my director was starting to learn for the first time. I was just starting out as a young broadcaster. Went back. I was just like, oh, I got to get my first reel together, post it on YouTube. Next thing you know, the first half of game action, I didn't hear anything.
No sound.
We've all
No
been
sound.
there. Look,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
we could take up an entire
I was
broadcast.
so excited, too. I was in college. I was like, wow, this is great. Great opportunity.
We could
Anyway.
take up an entire broadcast just with all the faux pas that we've had for our broadcasts.
That's true.
It happens to everyone.
It does. It really does. And look, we appreciate everybody who's tuning in here on Flagship Network. And, you know, look, we really enjoy doing the
It is
NEAFL
fun.
games.
It is fun. That's why we do it. Davis still in at the quarterback spot. We have a whistle
That's
and a
delay.
penalty marker
Delay,
down
yeah.
on the field.
I think that's going to be delay game.
It's going to be an offside. And he went offside and delay a game, but now it's officially a delay game. That's interesting. Sophie, do we have you? Do we have you? No? Still no. All right, we'll work at it. It's a work in progress.
So it went from 3rd and short to 3rd and 6.
3rd down 6.
Well, Bruce, you're a veteran. You know a lot more than I do. Davis going to throw for the first time.
Oh,
and how about that dart?
Passes.
That is a fantastic catch.
1st down.
Cheeseborough, who was overthrown in that first quarter, hasn't gotten a target since, but he makes the catch on that play.
Wow. I mean, that is really trouble for the Raptors if they've got to defend against the pass for Davis, because he has just been a machine on the ground.
3 big bodies in the backfield. Davis in the middle of it. Takes the snap, back to pass yet again. Steps up, flush to his left, still on his feet, still surveying. How about this? Davis, the big fella, putting on all the moves. Lost the football! It's out! The Militia fall on it. And we've seen that multiple times today. The Militia continue to get lucky. It's their 3rd fumble, and all 3 they've been able to fall back on.
Oh, man. So 2nd and long now for the Militia. Slocum comes out of the game, needs a blow after that one. I think he ran about 40 yards on that play. So the fans really getting behind the Raptors here.
2nd down, Davis will pass yet again. This time he'll step up.
Oh, my, look out.
And he's got some running room. He's brought down back around the original line of scrimmage.
That was just a smart play by Davis. The defensive line really just kind of ran past him.
Sophie, do we have you now?
Injury, yes, we're all good now. Injury report from the trainer says Genie Default and Shaq Walker should make a full return to the game. Genie Default was said to have a cramp, but he was rested on the bench or worked out by the trainer. And Shaq Walker was being worked on as I spoke to the trainer. Both are set to come back.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, Default, much needed piece back on that football field if the Raptors are going to have any shot at winning this football game.
And Davis calls a timeout. Didn't like what he saw there.
Davis looks winded, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's been running all over the place. Timeout on the field. 21-13 your score. 12-14 to play in the 4th.
Today's Reading Raptors game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, Vicky's Kitchen, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing. I'd really be interested to find out what's going on with Beatty. He had been walking around the sidelines but did not have his helmet. So
yeah,
I'm wondering
maybe there were some concussion concerns. Usually that's the case.
Haven't heard anything about his status, so we'll see what happens. If I can see him correctly, he is just standing on the sideline at the moment. So I'd expect his day is probably done.
Well, Davis has done a great job when he's been in there. I mean, he was with that heavy package that scored a touchdown. And here he's done a great job on this drive, not only running but throwing the football.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, he's just sitting there with a hat on.
He's sitting there right there. Yep.
All right, well, we're back to work. Meacham in the backfield. Davis still in the game at the quarterback spot.
Third down and long, about 9.
Davis will pass again. And it's in a very, very, very dangerous spot. Luckily for the Militia, it's incomplete. But I tell you what, Bruce, not the best decision from the backup quarterback.
And that was David Burgess, who already has a sack, nearly had an interception. There's a chance that he could have taken that one the distance. There was no one else around him. And there you can see Cameron Beatty on the sideline, hat on, not doing anything. No helmet anywhere in sight. So it seems that Beatty is done for the day, and this is going to be dual threat Davis show now for the Militia.
Unbelievable.
Well, 4th and 9, they're going to go for it here.
They're going to go for it with a backup quarterback who hasn't shown the ability to throw the football at a high level yet today, Bruce. If you're a Raptors fan, you have to like your odds here.
Well, biggest play of the game so far.
Davis back to pass again. Steps up.
That's Washington.
And he's going to fire deep to the end zone, and it's
knocked down.
That's Perez, and he's gotten 2 big-time plays in the secondary here today. First one coming in the first half. And now here with an opportunity for the Militia to strike one into the end zone. It's incomplete.
Arthur Perone also back on coverage.
Well, that Reading defense just does it again. Still 12 minutes and 2 seconds left in this game. The Raptors down by 8. Now it's the offense's turn. Charlie Maddox, who's been in control of this team for most of the way. And let's see what they come out of. They have been in that double wide set. Now they got the trips top, which they've shown a lot of today, and thrown the bubble screens out there.
Yeah, they have Pyers on the line of scrimmage also as well. It looks like as a blocker. Maddox will scramble out to his left. Fire into the danger zone, and it's incomplete.
They need to get Maddox comfortable, either shorter passes, quicker passes, or they need to get Gooden back into this game.
It was in and out of the hands of Wallace.
Well, Gooden was up and throwing a little bit, but tough play there.
And what's going through the head of Coach Mo right now?
Well, it's got to be something where, the one thing, how many touches has Gooden had? Other than those couple of items down near the goal line, he really's only had about 3 carries the entire quarter.
13 total, and he has 3 in the second half.
Well, he gets fed right here, and he's still on his feet, works his way past the line of scrimmage, and he backs his way for a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up another key third down here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not Coach Cooper here. 3rd down and 5. Big, big play here in the game for the Raptors on offense. This is where you've got to trust your guys to execute.
Pyers spread out. Now he's in at the bottom of the screen. Again, man-to-man coverage. Here comes some motion. End around. It's Roberson. He turns the corner, and he's upended.
I believe he's going to get it
at the first down marker, and he will get the first down. Big-time play by the Raptors offense.
One of the plays I was talking to Coach Cooper about before the game was the jet sweep, and there it's effective for the first down.
Is that good? His number falling off again?
Yep, we talked about it 2 weeks ago in the black jerseys. Now he's wearing white, and his number's falling off. So Roberson on the end around, led by Gooden, gets 6 yards, picks up that first down. Raptors on the move.
We approach the 10-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Raptors down 21-13. Militia looking to go to 5-0 with 3 home games remaining to end their season. And Maddox on the scramble will actually lose a couple of yards as he's knocked out of bounds.
Sometimes you just have to throw it away. He wasn't in the tackle box. He's got to learn to just throw the ball away. I mean, to start over at 2nd down. Instead, he takes a few yard loss there. But I know when Charlie was playing in high school that there wasn't any where you could throw it away. But now they do have that in high school.
Yeah, he should have just tossed it away.
Yeah,
get
just
it,
throw it
get
away.
it to the line of your outside tackle box. Get it to the line of scrimmage.
Yep, throw it away.
To the sideline. Throw it to your coach.
Pyers still in the slot. Motion pre-snap. Maddox takes the snap. He'll hand off to Gooden. And, man, I tell you what, he's never brought down on the first touch, but not too much to work with there.
Yeah, kind of tough to get any momentum going from a dead stop like that. I'd really like to see him get the ball on a pitch or an RPO option play with a full head of steam. I mean, he's just going to blow through anybody.
Yeah, some I formation toss or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, which is what Penn State should be doing to Nick Singleton. I don't think they've ever run that play up there.
It's 3rd down and 11. Can Maddox keep the drive alive? And I believe they'll back him up 5 more yards. It's going to be a false start. And now you're really putting pressure on yourself as an offense.
10th accepted penalty on the Raptors in this game.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of penalties.
Well, we talked about the limited practice time, Bruce. Does that have something to do with it, do you think?
Oh, sure it does. That's where, guys can't take anything for granted. They've got to make sure that they're watching the ball to go off when it's snapped. That they can't even, obviously Charlie is setting the play going by the clap. The guys on the line still have to watch the ball.
3rd and 16. Maddox forced to step up, slings one to the near sideline, looking for Pyers. It's incomplete.
That was tough. I mean, he was really the only guy. Pyers was the only guy in the pattern that Charlie could throw to because he rolled to his right. Pyers was just kind of doing a little curl there to the sideline. All the other guys were going deep.
Maddox
to
does
the
leave the pocket early, Bruce. He usually leaves the pocket early without even trying to step up and make a quick play.
Yeah.
Seems like some confusion with the substitutions as Aponic punts it away. It takes a Raptors bounce, fielded around the 30. Fisher brought down around the 45-yard line.
Kudos to that, to the Militia and those punt receivers tonight. That ball's hit the ground, but they've not let it get by them. They've had enough confidence to field that ball. One of them led to a touchdown.
One of them, where it did get by them, there was a penalty and they had to re-kick anyways.
That's right. Yeah, so the down markers are going the wrong way, but there we go.
Got to give a quick shout out to the Perez and a couple other members of the defense for the Raptors today. They've put on a pretty solid performance. I mean, Perez had a nice deflection in the end zone, had a nice deflection down the opposite side of the field around the 20-yard line in the first half.
Burgess has a sack. Karan Williams has an interception.
Yeah.
Really, the biggest thing against them at the moment is that 84-yard touchdown run.
Right.
That was a backbreaker. They shifted the momentum to the Militia's favor. They ended up getting that punt return touchdown the next possession. But the defense has once again played very, very well.
Truesdale has an interception as well.
That's right.
Well, it's Dimitri Davis's show the rest of the way.
Healthy pickup on first down for the Militia. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. They have officially worked their way into Raptors territory, albeit just 2 yards in.
And looks like we're going to have a holding penalty or something on the Militia.
Yeah,
that
Samuels
came from
got
the
the carry
referee.
and tried the far side, but there is a penalty marker down.
Who had the first down carry?
penalty mark is going to go against the Militia. So it'll back them up into their own territory.
Wow. Just when you thought the Militia were getting a little momentum, they, shoot themselves in the foot there.
Yeah, it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. And
they had the first down, and instead now they're backed up 2nd and long.
Yeah, it's going to be even beyond the original line of scrimmage on this drive.
Yeah, so they're facing
Second
13, it looks like. So 10 yards from the spot.
Ball's marked at the Militia 42.
And that is the Militia's 10th accepted penalty as well. So both teams with 10 accepted penalties.
Still same type of formation we've seen on the last few drives.
We're going to get penalty 11 here on the Raptors.
Yep, that was offsides. But, yeah, offsides on the defense there. I'll tell you what, it's really turned out to be a beautiful evening here. My, oh, my. I think the last game we did, we about froze to death.
Defense.
So
beautiful night. Nice, raucous crowd here at Don Thomas Stadium, Max.
I'd say one lady down there is raucous. Love to interview her after the game.
Well, we'd have to make sure we had the bleep button.
So teams trading some penalties here, and it leaves Militia with 2nd and 8 with about 6 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. So they're awaiting, holding on, trying to prevent the Raptors from getting the ball back.
Meacham, number 45, in the backfield. Brown, 34, in the backfield. And Davis, number 9, the quarterback. And that's going to be a false start.
Yeah. Well, the clock hasn't moved, but the ball has.
That's going to go against, who's that, number
Looks like the wide receiver.
5? Yeah, one of the receivers at the bottom of the screen. You don't see that often. That's Marset.
Well, they were unhappy that the Raptors had gotten their 11th penalty, so the Militia wanted to get their 11th penalty as well. And we're right back to where we were a minute ago.
Well, I'd keep your eye on Marquise Slocum here on the defensive line for Reading. He just looks like he's ready to explode. Number 90.
Clock continues to wind here in the 4th quarter. Davis will pass yet again. Has all the time in the world. Still has time, and he fires and finds the receiver on the far sideline. That's Cheeseborough. So he's starting to pile up a couple of receptions here in the second half.
And the clock continues to run. Not the friend of the Raptors now.
That's Sanders, excuse me.
Just a real important series for the Reading defense. They've got to get the ball back to the offense here.
Well, and they're starting to spread the ball out a lot, right? I mean, I mentioned Cheeseborough's name a couple times. Sanders obviously have a couple of members in the backfield. Collette, who has the 84-yard touchdown run, haven't seen him since then. Fisher is starting to pile up the receptions as he has done all game, nearing the 10 reception mark. We'll see if he gets any more opportunities here in the 4th. Might not need to, however, because of where the time is right now.
Passing formation here, double wides, top and bottom.
And we have a pre-snap whistle.
I think a timeout for the Militia.
No,
That's going to be a delay game.
Delay. Oh,
wow.
My. Oh, my. Oh, my. Boy, unforced error there. So 3rd and long. Clearly the biggest possession of the game for the Militia. Trying to run this clock down. 4:09 remaining. High drama here at Don Thomas Stadium.
Now the referees are going to come together. And they all have their hands out as to say, what do you got? What do you got? The timeout's going to be on the Raptors.
So are they saying that wasn't?
Wasn't a Militia timeout.
Well, but it wasn't Militia delay a game either, because they moved the ball back up.
The ball currently is marked.
I can't believe that Reading would call a timeout to not allow the Militia to have a delay of game.
Right, and it looks like they didn't move the ball. It looks like the ball's still marked at the 46. Yeah, 46. The ball's marked at the 46, so they haven't moved the football after the delay of game penalty.
Well, clearly, it comes down to this one play. 3rd down and 9, and I have to believe that if the Militia don't convert, that they will punt. So, big play for the Raptors here. And on the Militia side, boy, tough call. Looked like they were going double wide, and we're going to put it on the arm of Dimitri Davis to get the 1st down. So here we go.
If the Militia don't get this, they have to punt. The Raptors have done nothing offensively, very, very little, all half.
Except for the Gooden touchdown.
That was
3rd down and 9.
It was the
Davis in the shotgun. Back to pass. Firing deep down the far sideline, and he overthrows his intended target. That's Sanders.
That was Mike Effinger on the route for the Militia, number 4.
Oh, Enfinger. My apologies. So Sanders, Enfinger, you have the tailbacks as well. Cheeseborough. Kind of just shows you the depth that this team has. And with 4:05 remaining in the 4th, it looks like the Raptors might get another opportunity.
Well, I think this is the first punt of the game for the Militia. So
it's Wallace.
Let's see if they can execute here. And who have we got back there for the Raptors? Is that Armstrong? He's done a good job on returns this year. Little confusion here for the Militia.
Yeah, getting a late sub out there.
Over his head.
High snap. Low punt.
Oh,
it takes
my.
a friendly Militia hop inside of the 20-yard line now. And it'll stop around the 16th. So what could have been very dangerous turned out not to be so bad for the Militia. Actually going to be marked at the 19-yard line.
It's not how, it's how many, right? And it turned out to be, I literally thought he snapped it over the kicker's head. Great job by the punter fielding that. And it was a low liner, but it got through, and now the Raptors with a long way to go.
Yeah, this is the worst field position for either team today.
Well, we have a penalty marker down on the field. It looks to be a false start.
Oh,
so we're going to have to punt it
again. We're going to have to do it again.
All right.
We're going to do it live, as Bill O'Reilly said. Oh, my gosh. Well, at least the snapper had some practice out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Now that you've seen the long snap, the way it was fielded, if I'm the Raptors, I'm sending pressure.
I'm sending everybody. There's no reason to hold back here. It's not return, it's block.
It's a clean snap this time. Ball is a high arcer.
Way off to the right.
It's much better field position
Out
for
of
the Raptors.
bounds.
Indeed. Instead of the 19-yard line, it'll be marked around the 30.
Here we go. 3:46 remaining. Comes down to this final drive for the Raptors. You know, if you go to this team, and I think if you went to Coach Mo, he would sign up for this. If they'd have the ball at their own 30-yard line with 3:46 to go to win a game.
No doubt.
Or to tie a game anyway. Best they can do is tie here. Touchdown and a two-pointer. Charlie Maddox. Double wides, top and bottom.
Maddox again, quickly flushed, finds Pyers, and he's got a first down and more.
Big play.
In the Militia territory, he's brought down at the New Jersey 49-yard line.
That was a great job by Charlie Maddox there, evading the rush, giving his receiver time to get open, and he threw him open there.
Gave him the opportunity to get some yards after the catch, flips the field onto the Militia sideline, approaching 3 minutes to play, down 8.
Maddox again, back to pass. This time he'll try the left side, firing across his body, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete there. Raptor sideline wanted a penalty, but it still ends up incomplete. Interesting, seemed like there was only one guy in the pattern. And it was to the center of the field. I mean, Reading's got to be cognizant of time. It's 2:47 left. At best, they've got 2 timeouts remaining.
Maddox quickly gets rid of it to default, and he's got some blockers in front as he works his way just shy of the 40-yard line.
It's going to give them a fresh set of downs, but they've got to be cognizant of the time. Now, there is a 2-minute warning.
They're short.
Clock
third down.
continues to wind. It's going to be just shy of the first down there, Bruce. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1.
But still, they've got to be cognizant of time here. There is a 2-minute warning, but they've got to play with a sense of urgency.
Maddox, probably seen as more of a threat with his feet, now has 20 passing attempts on the night. Maddox to rank.
Well, Raptors starting to apply some pressure. We have a member of the Militia team slow to get up, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. 21-13 your score, Charles Kenny. Happy birthday. .155 to go in the 4th. Raptors starting to move the football deeper into Militia territory. Maddox with no pressure fires one out, and it's incomplete. And that's a penalty marker. Another penalty marker.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Militia player shoved number 26 for the Raptors there.
Yeah, that's Rank.
And then rather than to stay with the 15-yard penalty, Rank went and shoved him, and they
Discipline.
So they're going to have offsetting personal foul.
Smart. Like, you have to be smart. You can't do that. And often it's the guy that initiates that gets the pass. It's the one that has the rebuttal that gets caught.
We have offsetting penalties.
Okay.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, and then personal foul, unnecessary roughness.
All right, so that'll offset.
They offset.
Yeah, Rank didn't need to.
No, well,
need to do
you
the
would
shove.
have 15-plus yards and a first down if you don't respond.
That's right, exactly.
After a great play by him, Maddox to Rank helped them set up deeper into Militia territory. The Raptors have 2 timeouts left. They don't have to stick with the passing game. If they want to sneak a run into Gooden, they certainly can. Gooden's been pretty quiet this half, but we know what he's able to do. He can break one at any time.
All right, here we go. Rank in motion, bottom of your screen, and I think, oh, well, I don't think I know. That's a false start.
$1:47 remaining. Tough. That's what I know it's enormously difficult, but you just have to almost keep. I know that defender's bearing down on you, but you just got to keep an eye on the ball, unfortunately.
Pyers in motion. Top of your screen, number 14. He's been a go-to target here in the second half for Maddox. Rank will do the same. Maddox firing deep towards the end zone, and it's intercepted. James Bryant Jr. on the coverage, and that will all but do it here tonight in Reading.
The Raptors go down again here at home. Just a tough battle with an undefeated team leading their division, the Militia.
Maddox, an offensive coordinator, Ian Cooper in discussion on the sideline about that most recent play.
We had the receiver one-on-one.
Got to give credit to Bryant.
The name James Bryant certainly familiar to Reading folk. I don't think
sure
it's
does.
the same. I don't think it's the same person. No.
I don't think it's the same Bryant family. I run into Sam every now and then over in West Reading because he's a West Reading cop, and yeah, no, that Bryant family. I mean, when you say that name in Reading or the Reading area, it really brings back a lot of positive memories.
Yeah, well, Sam was a stud on the 2000 Reading Red Knights football team. Went on to play at the University of Pittsburgh.
So the Militia break huddle. They're backed up on their own 2-yard line. Davis will hand off, and it's a safety. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And they get the ball back.
Perez and Burgess
30.
in on the stop.
Who was on the carry?
First off, why did was it not a touchback?
Why didn't you just
when
QB sneak it?
When he fielded the ball, he was at the 2, and he just got tackled and fell into the end zone. But the ball was at the 2.
So they gave him.
He did not retreat himself. He was tackled back, so his
it
forward
was
progress.
progress.
Right. He did not retreat into the end zone. He was forced back into the
All
end
right.
zone.
Well, there's one of the things they needed with the 2 points. Now a touchdown could win the game.
Unbelievable.
And they get the ball on a free kick.
This is wild.
We were talking off camera here. These Reading Raptors games have just been so much fun. All coming down to the final moments here. And now Reading with an opportunity.
Was that Meacham's first carry of the game, too?
I think so.
We've heard it. He's been in the backfield a bunch, but I think that was
What?
Meacham's first
What?
carry, and he loses 2 yards, and the Raptors get a safety.
It's kind of like the reverse miracle of the Meadowlands. I mean, why don't you just run it straight ahead with Davis? You're handing the ball outside.
Right.
To a guy who hasn't
That's my
carried the
question.
ball all game?
Well, when it's all said and done, it'll be a free kick. It's Wallace to punt it away. And he'll do so from his own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
It's a rainbow. And it's muffed.
That's Matthew Default with the ball now. He gets to the 40.
Minute 22.
So Default was able to field it and turn nothing into something, at least a positive gain. And it's going to be pretty solid field position to start with a minute and 23 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
If it were me, and it isn't, but I'm getting I liked that screen pass a little bit earlier, maybe a screen pass to Gooden.
You don't need
a
it all.
screen to Gooden?
Yeah, that's what I mean. A screen
You
pass.
don't need it all right now.
No, you don't.
They forced it on the last series, and it didn't end well. They
Well, that's what I
need
mean.
to go with the quick passes.
Nice little high percentage screen pass. Minute 22, 2 timeouts. He said minute 23, 2 timeouts, Joe.
Yep.
There's your bunch formation.
Yep, near side.
Pyers by himself up high. Maddox, does he have one final push left in him here in the fourth? Takes the snap, gets rid of it quickly. There's your
Junior Default.
screen there to Junior Default. He's
Get
knocked out of bounds past the 40-yard line, Bruce.
And a smart play, too, getting to the sideline. So not much gain there, but they stopped the clock.
Two-yard pickup. It's a 2nd down and 8 for the Raptors. Wow, look at this formation. 5 wide.
Mano y mano. And somebody flinched, it looks like.
We have a false start.
Yeah, it's a false start.
That is the 13th accepted penalty against the Raptors.
Fans just have been here throughout, Max.
I'd say the same. Well, it's going to be the same formation that we just saw, so expect maybe the same play.
Trips to the
Maddox
near side.
trying to do something, anything. Do something or anything at all. He's back to pass, has some space to run. Charging towards the near sideline, and he's barged out of bounds in front of his own bench.
Yeah, on the dead run there. Nothing was open early, so he just beelined it to the sidelines to save some clock and live to fight here on 3rd down. Well, maybe some kind of a trick play, hook and lateral or something, you know.
Gooden back into the game. Trips to the far side.
Gooden back into the ball game. Maddox has a clean pocket, fires. It's complete. It's Junior Default. And he's still on his feet. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Multiple bodies hit the turf. Default is one of them.
And he's got a
Oh, my
cram.
goodness.
I think that's going to be a 10-second runoff unless they call a timeout.
Oh, my goodness. I mean,
They need him in the game worse
you
than
got to
anybody.
give credit to Maddox, able to stand in that clean pocket and fire a dart. Default banged up after the play. One of the Militia team members banged up as well. He was able to get up his own on his own power.
All right. Well, while we're in this injury timeout, we will thank today's presenting sponsors at Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ's Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, Vicky's Kitchen, Valvoline, Dark Side Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing.
Yeah, and for anybody watching here locally here in Reading, I mean, we're over at Sly Fox after the game. Stop by, meet players, and, a replay of the game as well. Hear how bad I dissected this game live?
Yeah, me and you both.
So defaults up to 9 catches for 77 yards. Maddox is now over 100 yards passing on 25 attempts. None bigger than what's coming up right now. As
Yeah, that was
the
a heck of a
Raptors-
throw there, Joe.
It was.
It was. And a heck of a play afterwards by default.
Yeah,
Hopefully he's okay. It would be a big loss for the Raptors if he's unable to go right now.
Well, he's still down, and his brother's going to jog over and make sure he's okay as well. So while we're in an injury timeout, we'll step aside, and we'll come back after this.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Out of a timeout, default, able to get up and walk to the sidelines under his own power. That created a big stoppage in what is a massive ending to this football game. Again, we thought this one was basically over after the interception by Maddox on the last possession.
Yeah.
That was turned into a safety momentarily, or moments later, I guess is a better way to put it. And now Maddox continues to move the football deeper into Militia territory. We'll see what he's got on this play. First and
That's
10.
offsides.
And we have some
That's
movement.
Free 5 yards.
Yeah.
They moved. That's on.
They
That's
did.
on the
That's going
Militia.
to be on the defense. Encroachment. Oh, disregard the flag.
What?
Oh,
Taking off the flag,
my.
inverted whistle.
Yeah, I think he
Inverted
threw it a
whistle,
little bit
taking
early.
off the flag.
Well, they'll pick the flag up.
Okay.
So the drama continues to build with a minute to play.
He looks like he's lined off offsides. His start.
Maddox directly to his right, backpedals, fires, and it's incomplete.
Ooh, almost.
I think there's a flag down. Ineligible downfield for Reading.
Yeah, it's around the line of scrimmage.
So down to 56 seconds. Going to be second down. Hard to see the down marker, but I believe it's going to be second down. So if they take the penalty,
They're going to decline.
I would guess they want to decline it.
Yep, they're going to decline it.
And go for the down. So ball's on the 36. Reading needs a touchdown to tie. Extra point could win it.
Clean pocket for Maddox. He'll fire. He's got an open receiver, and it's incomplete. It was Gooden who got free.
That was a touchdown.
And he would have walked into the end zone there, Bruce.
Yeah.
Those tailbacks aren't used to catching the passes too many times. And
and look, I was the one that said they needed to maybe throw the ball to Gooden there to get him in some space. Well,
hey, even your best players have an off moment. It just came at the worst time for Alex Gooden right there. I mean, he would have walked into the end zone.
Yeah, he would have.
He was behind his defender. He reels that in. No one's bringing him down. He's only got, 10, 15 yards to stroll in there untouched.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10.
Great play. Come back to it.
Maddox with the clap.
He's got a clean pilot.
He'll fire. Down in the near sideline looking for Smythe, and it's out of bounds and incomplete.
Man.
One final opportunity for Maddox and company on offense. 44 seconds to go in the 4th.
Yeah, Gooden comes off the field. He's pretty upset at himself for dropping that pass, but got to shake it off. He's got to get those team members ready to go.
Gooden off the field now. He kneels on the sideline. Empty backfield. 5 wide. And we have a whistle and a timeout ready. We'll step aside. We'll see you for could be the final play of the game. Out of a timeout. Maddox back onto the field, still 5 wide, and he's got an opportunity to be a hero. And we'll see if that will come to fruition here tonight. 4th and 10. Maddox takes the snap, back to pass. He'll roll out to his right, stays in bounds, and has to fire, and it is
dropped.
Incomplete. And that's 2 opportunities here on this drive, Bruce, that go in and out of the hands of a Raptors receiver.
And that's going to do it. 37 seconds left. Reading basically, thought that, the game was over, had a second chance there, Joe, and just couldn't convert.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a tough pass to come back on for Junior Default. But the catch would have given them a first down, a fresh set of downs for an opportunity to score with, about 30 seconds to play, but not meant to be.
Yeah.
The Raptors, I believe, do have a timeout remaining, but
they're
not going to be able to stop it enough.
What do you guys think of a player of the game tonight? Who are we thinking?
Well, at first I thought for sure it was going to be Beatty. Hey, he was off to a great start, but apparently an injury shelved him there for the second half. Davis had his moments. He looked good at times. Fisher in the first half was outstanding for the Militia. I think kind of a nail in the coffin, though. I like Collette, the Militia running back, the 84-yard touchdown. Yeah,
that was basically the story of the game.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Well, that's the ball game. 21-15 is officially your final score, and the Raptors drop another one here at home. All right, Joe. So we're going to throw it down to Bruce on the sideline momentarily. Daniel Collette's going to be our player of the game. We'll get that graphic up on the screen for you shortly, but
yeah,
it's
running
really
back.
his 84-yard touchdown run that sealed the deal.
Yeah, it really was, and that kind of turned the tide there in favor of the Militia in the second half. And you know, he looked good. I mean,
he really did, and he really didn't get a lot of opportunity in the backfield.
No,
but
he didn't. He had a lot in the first half. He ended up only with 6 carries, but 102 yards, 84 of them coming on that touchdown run. That broke the 7-7 tie that opened up the scoring in the second half.
And then you had the punt return right after that by Albanese.
And Albanese would certainly be an option. He had an outstanding game, not just because of the return touchdown, but also his play as a DB.
Yes.
Breaking up some passes, making some tackles.
Yeah, no question about it.
But I think the big play, I think Collette is the guy to go with. Definitely would have thought it was going to be Beatty early on. I mean, he was off to an incredible start. He did have that interception, but he was...
It really didn't hurt him. I mean, it could have.
Right, but he was 12 of 19 for 150 yards.
Right.
So he was racking up the attempts and the yardage, but he ended up with the 2 interceptions, including on the last pass he attempted was an interception past 19. I would be interested to see what happened and when and why wasn't he in for most of the second half, why they went with Davis. Although I don't know that they missed much with Davis. Davis really added that additional element, a dual threat element. We saw him being the primary, the heavy set back when they bring in the big guys to score on the short yardage. Davis was in there.
Yeah.
And but then he showed that he could throw it too.
Right, and I think that was kind of surprising because once he did start to throw the football, that was consistent. He almost stopped running as much in the short yardage situations and started throwing the rock more and more. So we're going to get Bruce momentarily down there around the 50-yard marker or so. And
I see Bruce there with our player of the game. But real quickly, for the Raptors, Maddox, 29 pass attempts from Maddox, the guy that's usually seen as the dual threat, maybe more of a run threat. 29 pass attempts, 115 yards, had the touchdown to default, who also had a great game, 9 receptions for 77 yards. So, I mean, I don't want to overlook Gooden either, 15 carries for 79 yards.
100%. I think there's one thing, if there's one thing that we have to say about this game or a play or two that we'll remember, it's the touchdown run by Collette, but it's also the drop pass by Gooden on that last possession.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, when we heard the crowd screaming, give the ball to your best player, Gooden's your best player.
Right.
And he undoubtedly is. Unfortunately, just some bad luck there near the end of the game. And he knows it, and he's frustrated. And I understand. He is a ball player.
Of course.
And he'll be back with a vengeance coming up next week.
Just 2 great games that we've been able to be a part of. And on that note, we'll send it down to Bruce Badgley, who's standing by with our player of the game.
down on the field with Danny Collett, a big touchdown run. I mean, you just kind of broke through the line there. It looked like they had, the Reading defense had all kind of crashed down. You just got through the line of scrimmage and you were gone.
Yeah, this has been a tough defense to play against all day. I kind of black out a little bit when I run too. You know, once you see the opening, kind of just hit a hole. But my team was telling me exactly what I did on the sideline. I just heard everybody saying run, so I just kept running, you know. But this is a legit team to play, and it was an honor to be here. And you guys actually have a great stadium, so it's been really cool.
Yeah, it was, fun to get to know, the history of the Militia and the family running it, and the dad and the son and that, and what a tradition it is. But you guys play with a lot of passion out there. There were a lot of ebbs and flows in this game.
Yeah, we love this game, and our first year, there's a few core guys still from our first year, and we got beat up a lot. We maybe had 2 wins. We come back next year, same ownership with the same core guys, pulled a lot of people in, and with the coaching we have, we built a really good camaraderie to work with each other, and we have a few new guys this year, but they fit the mold right in perfect. So it's been nothing but a blessing this year so far.
And undefeated so far this season. You're at top of your division. I mean, you guys now have some really lofty goals, don't you?
Yeah. Well, we were in the championship last year, and we took a heartbreaking loss in overtime. So we really don't want to settle for anything less. That's been the motivation all year. Every week is just another step to get into where we need to be, and that's the plan.
Danny, thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good luck to all you guys, and stay blessed. Have a happy Easter.
Thank you. All right, back up to you guys.
Nice, Bruce. Real nice. Nice point there, dude. Real nice point.
So the Militia are a pretty impressive team, Max.
I'd say so. I mean, undefeated. They had their opportunities in this one to continue to put it away, but they've also, on the other side of things, when we think of the Raptors, they had their opportunities to put this one away, or at least take control of the game, and they just weren't able to do so.
Yeah, both of the home games now that we've got to broadcast, the Raptors were right in it to the end, with the opportunity to come from behind and win it on the final possession. Just wasn't meant to be, but you can see that they're very close to breaking through. They're hanging with the best teams that the NEAFL have to offer.
Record doesn't show it, right?
No,
2-4 record, but
right.
they were in this one. They were in the game 2 weeks ago as well.
Now, dropping 4 in a row. We talked pregame about how it coming together, coaching staff righting the ship. 2 more home games. They're done. Raptors, the Militia, are happy to have done with their away games now after finishing with this win here. Raptors also do not have any more road
Bruce
games.
Badgley down on the
All right,
field.
on that note, we're going to send it down to Coach
Mo here of the Raptors. Wow. I mean, what a game. I mean, emotionally, I don't recall seeing a game where there was such an emotional ebb and flow. What was it like on the sidelines?
We just talking about composure on the sideline. We knew it was going to be basically like a chess match, calling the right plays, matching what they're doing so they can match what we're doing, something like that. I think we had everything going for us, but again, it comes down to the lowest thing sometimes, just bites you.
Yeah, amazing. And I guess the amazing thing for me, too, was there was never any quit in the team. Even after, the late interception, the defense, bucking it up and getting the safety and giving the offense another opportunity. I mean, both sides of the football just seem to complement one another very well.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of the guys with the effort. I think we really played a full 4 quarters today. Just came up short. It happens like that sometimes. The defense played out great. Offense actually did very well today as well too. We had a couple of big beats in the beginning, in the first half, but we picked it up in the second half, and we just started moving the ball. We just gotta finish.
Still a lot to play for here. I mean, you guys right now, you came into the game in the playoffs, and look, all any team wants to do is just get in. Getting in and reinventing yourself. Any number of teams can point to the fact that once they got to the playoffs, they get a run. And that's clearly, I mean, you guys have been so close all year long in these games. That's got to be something you're looking toward is obviously 1, 2, getting 3, to the playoffs,
4,
right?
5, 6, 7, 8.
One playoffs cup, it's a clean slate. Records don't matter anymore. And by that time, I'm hoping that we've minimized all our mistakes and we zero in. Like you said, we're very close all the time. We just kind of finish the game off. So I think these guys are locked in now. We minimized a lot of mistakes from the previous week in today's game, but we just got to clean some stuff up and get better.
Coach, I tell you what, just keep plugging in there, man. I mean, you guys are great to watch. A lot of great emotion out there. Keep the faith.
Thank you. We'll do.
All right. Take care. Back up to you guys.
And 5. So 5, ready 6, and 6.
Well, again, another nice point there from Bruce. Long handshake there with Coach Mo after the loss as well. So I don't know if you noticed that, but another tough loss. We talked off camera just moments ago about moving forward and the disappointment, obviously, the 4-game losing streak, but where to go from here. And obviously there's a lot of stats and a lot to unpack. And where do you go from here?
Just focus on the next game. End this one, move on, and focus on your next game. It's a home game. We were talking right before Bruce had Coach Mo that the Raptors are here in the next 2 weeks, home games, little home cooking, get things right.
Sure.
And they have the opportunity to do that because they've now gone through the meat of their schedule. They played the 4 best teams in the league. Didn't get to beat anyone, very close though,
right.
And they're ready to break through. Now you have some teams that are also struggling. They get to come back here and play against the Mid-Penn Knights next week. The Knights came into this week 0-4. I don't know if they got a victory this weekend or not, but they have not won a game yet. So
nice. That's always a good thing.
Right. Well, maybe a little bit softer part of the schedule now. See what they can do. I think, you'd hate to earn a job or lose a job because of an injury, but after tonight, I feel like you have to give the opportunity to Charlie Maddox.
Sure.
I thought he had a good night. There was one interception. There was some incompletions, but there also were some drops.
Yeah.
But he felt more control of the offense when he came in.
Yeah.
And really able to kind of find a rhythm.
He was asked to throw the football a lot tonight, too, especially when you talk about the dual threat ability. I don't think if you talked to him pregame and told him, hey, you're going to throw the football 27, 28 times tonight, he would have agreed with you. But that's exactly what happened. And at the end of the day, you can think about the collect touchdown, 84-yard run. You can think about the good and drop passer on the last possession of the game for the Raptors, but there were chances for the Raptors to win this game. There were chances for the Militia to win this game, and ultimately Militia were the ones who came out on top. They just made the plays when it mattered most and took advantage of the opportunities that were presented to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Militia, when it mattered, they got the job done, and just like we saw 2 weeks ago with Wilmington, when it mattered, they got the job done. One of these times it's going to be the Raptors, and I think it starts next week.
Awesome. All right, well, on that note, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley down on the field. We appreciate both of you. Max Gretzula, the whole B&B media team here behind the scenes, appreciate them as well. We'll see you next weekend. The Raptors will be back at Don Thomas Stadium trying to get a victory as they drop tonight to 2-4 on the season. Have a great night, everyone.